He just came up excited, "Hey, Paul," like that, and hit the bottle as I was already going to take my sip. So what happens is I get this indentation in my tooth. He looks over and he goes, "It's not that bad, dude. It's not that bad." And I go, "Dave, you don't understand. I can feel the fracture with my tongue."
A frat party fracas.
Do we understand each other?
No, I don't think we do.
Just a second. He's going to try to explain
I'm going to try to explain. If it was not due to all the alcohol in his system, I believe none of this would have happened. How does tapping somebody on the right shoulder affect something holding in your left hand?
You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Sheindlin. The people are real. The cases are real. The rulings are final. This is her courtroom. This is Judge Judy.
Party's on Shortino versus Kramer. Step forward, please.
Singer Paul Shortino wants his friend David Kramer to pay for the tooth he broke on a beer bottle.
Order. All rise. Judge, it's number 97 on the calendar in the matter of Shortino versus Kramer. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
All right, Mr. Shortino, you're at a party with the defendant.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you are standing there holding a beer.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you say that somehow the defendant caused injury to your tooth, which required root canal work and a cap.
Dental work. Actually, a whole new tooth. My whole tooth was fractured.
Now, you paid a certain amount of money, or you owe a certain amount of money to the dentist who took care of your tooth. You say that the defendant had agreed to pay for the tooth, which was, I don't know, several $100s.
Actually, a couple $1,000s now.
A couple of $1,000s?
It's at like about $1,500 right now.
Not according to your complaint, sir.
Well, no. As far as the dentist work that's been done,
Not
it's
according
not been
to your
done
complaint.
correct.
According to the complaint that you signed, sir, the dental work was, I don't know, $700 and some odd dollars. The dentist quoted you, the Beverly Hills dentist quoted you $650.
For a root canal.
Okay? And he said he could get a dentist to do it cheaper.
Right, his dentist.
His dentist for $350.
Right.
And did you go to his dentist?
And I went to his dentist he's been going to.
All right, so that was $350.
Right, exactly.
So where's the couple of $1,000s come from?
Because of the tooth. That was just a root canal to disconnect the nerve from hurting.
Right.
That was just for the nerve. And so now I had to go and get a tooth, and I'm an entertainer, and the tooth is still not correct. It's discolored, and it's not correct. And for it to be done correctly, it's going to cost me a couple $1,000s.
Well, do you have an estimate for that from the dentist?
Yes, I do, actually. Well, I don't have the estimate actually itself, but I have everything that needs to be done written from my dentist.
Does the dentist give an estimate?
Yeah, he does give an estimate.
Let me see it. All right, now, you say that he agreed to pay, then he reneged on not paying. So
Yes, Your Honor.
whether it's $1,500 or whatever, so now you're suing for $5,000.
Well, I lost wages. I drove out to San Diego to file, work, and just now I'm an entertainer. I don't have my original teeth back, and that's kind of sad in a way because, you know, I mean, I had perfect teeth, and I have pictures of my teeth, what they used to look like and what they look like now. You can look at those too if you would like.
All right, now tell me about the party.
The party, David invited me to his party. It was his first fraternity party, so I went with him. I was out there on vacation just for the weekend, and so I went along with Josh and Dave to the party. And he had stopped at 7-Eleven before we got to the party and purchased some 40-ounces MGDs. We got to the party.
40 ounces. In English, please.
Okay, it's a 40-ounce bottle, and I was just letting you know that's what it was, because that's what busted my tooth.
MGDs?
It's Miller Genuine Draft Beer. Sorry about that.
Go ahead.
We got the MGDs, which is the Miller Genuine Draft. We were at the party. Dave had left me because I didn't know anybody, so I let him go around and do his thing. He had a pin on for fraternity that he's new, and so he was walking around, proceeding and doing what he was doing. I was sitting in the corner minding my business, drinking my beer. He came up just excited. He wasn't deliberately. It was a total accidental situation, and he hit the bottle as I was going to take a sip, and it fractured my tooth.
Well, exactly how did he do that?
He just came up excited, "Hey, Paul," like that, and hit the bottle as I was already going to take my sip. So what happens is I get this indentation in my tooth. He looks over and he goes, "It's not that bad, dude. It's not that bad." And I go, "Dave, you don't understand. I can feel the fracture with my tongue." So that morning, the following morning, I went to the dentist, which was in Beverly Hills, and I called Dave, and he had told me he would take care of it at the party, so I felt better at that time. I was like, okay, I know Dave, he'll take care of it. I'm good friends, you know, I thought that was, you know, it was all cool. So the next morning, I call him to get a credit card number. My girlfriend, actually, who's the witness, she called Dave to ask him for a credit card number so that she could get the card. Come on up, baby. So she could get the credit card number from Dave. Okay.
Okay. I spoke to Mr.
Name.
My name is Kelly Hammett. I spoke to Mr. Kramer on the phone from Dr. Lalazarian's office, where we took Paul to get the work done on his tooth because he was in pain because it was split clear up the middle. I called Dave to get his credit card number so we could go ahead and get the tooth work done. When I spoke to Dave, Dave asked how much they were charging. They got the price. Dave says, "They're ripping you off. If you want me to pay for this, go to my dentist." At that time, we left and went to his dentist in Chatsworth, where I, myself, put down a $100 deposit for them to start the root canal on him. And that's pretty much it.
Okay, go ahead.
All I really need is my tooth fixed. That's all I'm asking for.
Yeah.
And that's all there is to it. That's what it comes down to.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Before I start, I would like to clear up a few things that Mr. Shortino did say. The 40-ounce bottle that did chip his tooth, he had it before we even left my house to go to this party. We did not stop at 7-Eleven to get his beer there. When the actual incident did happen, I was in a circle with Paul, Mr. Shortino, and a friend of mine, Joe. Prior to the party, however, he had been drinking very heavily at my home. I have my roommate here and my witness, Mr. Joshua Cash. At the time this happened, like I said, I was in the corner with my friend Joe and Mr. Shortino. Someone said some sort of joke of some sort, and I tapped his right shoulder, and his beer was in his left hand. And somehow, he overreacted, and the bottle came up into his tooth. And this was not a fraternity party per se. It was after a night of rushing at the fraternity. It was not on fraternity grounds to get that cleared up. And I did recommend for him to go to my dentist that I've been going to my whole life. I felt that he was getting ripped off, if you will, at this dentist for $750, because I did call my dentist, and I told him the situation, and he gave me a rough estimate of around $400.
So you agreed to pay for that?
No, I did not agree to pay for it. I never agreed to pay for anything.
Kramer,
I was...
Mr. Kramer.
Yes.
So far, you sound like a very intelligent, rational young man.
Thank you.
Let's try to keep it that way.
Okay.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
You knew, Mr. Kramer, he was under 21 because you told me that in your answer. Now, you said to me that he was drinking at your house.
I was not at the house when he was drinking.
He was drinking at what house before?
At my house, but I was not present
Just a
at the
second.
house.
What makes you say he was drinking at your house?
Because I saw him drinking.
Right.
Singer Paul Shortino wants his friend David Kramer to pay for the tooth he broke on a beer bottle.
He would not have called you if he didn't feel that you were responsible. You would not have said to him, "You're getting ripped off, go to my dentist."
I felt as
and then speak to your dentist about the price, unless you felt that somehow, some way...
I felt my friend was getting extremely ripped off by a dentist in Beverly Hills. That is what I was doing. I was trying to help him out and not get him to pay more than he has to pay. That is what I was doing.
What did you have the conversation with the dentist about?
Because he asked me what I was calling him about. I told him the situation.
What situation?
That my friend had hit a bottle onto his tooth, and there was a little chip. I didn't know the exact damage, and he said he really couldn't give me an exact figure, and I asked for a ballpark figure, and that's what he gave me.
Mr. Kramer, were you drinking at this party too?
I had a few beers, yes.
40-ounce beer?
I did not have 40-ounce bottles of beer. I did not have 40-ounce bottles of beer, but I did have, I would suggest, a 12-ounce glass of beer, probably.
Mr. Kramer,
Yes,
Mr. Shortino doesn't suggest that this was anything other than an accident.
I understand.
The question that we address in these kinds of proceedings is, but for your actions, would his tooth have been broken? That's what we call tort law, you know, torts. I got an A in torts in law school. So, but for the intervention of either tapping him on the shoulder or, as he said, you sort of put your hands out in front of him and tapped the bottle so that it went into his tooth. But for your actions, his tooth would not have been broken. There's no question, based upon the evidence that I have, that you did, in fact, suffer a broken tooth as a result of this huge beer bottle that you were drinking, sir. Probably at a time when you weren't supposed to be drinking beer. Is that correct?
This is correct.
Yeah, because you were not of age?
I'm not of age. This is true.
So
I
you
didn't
weren't
even purchase
supposed to
it.
be drinking the beer, but you had this big beer bottle and it was near your mouth. But for that intervention, he wouldn't have suffered this injury. So it's not an instance where you were at fault because you did something grossly negligent, but you are responsible. He's not responsible because it wouldn't have happened but for your intervention. Do we understand each other?
No, I don't think we do.
Just a second. He's going to try to explain it
I'm going
to
to
me.
try to explain. If it was not due to all the alcohol in his system, I believe none of this would have happened. How does tapping somebody on the right shoulder affect something holding in your left hand? I believe due to his inebriated state,
Yes.
this never would have happened.
You were in front of me, though.
Just a second. Mr. Kramer.
Yes.
I was trying to be kind to you, sir. You're over 21, correct?
Yes.
You knew he was under 21. Chuck! You knew, Mr. Kramer, he was under 21 because you told me that in your answer. Right? That he was a minor. I mean, I didn't learn it. I didn't pull that out of a hat. It was in these papers that you both furnished to me. Now, you said to me that he was drinking at your house. Before. He was drinking at your house before he went to the party.
I was not at the house when he was drinking. I was at the fraternity. I then found out about the party. I came back. He was the 40.
How did I get to the fraternity?
Here's what.
He was drinking at what house before?
At my house, but I was not
Just a
present at the
second.
house.
You mean your home where you live?
Right. I was not
Yes.
present at the house. He had gone to Tijuana. I live in San Diego. He had gone to Tijuana. I was at the fraternity. He came back. By the time I came back, he was there. There was
He was at your house?
at my house.
Yes.
There was a bottle of tequila and a 40-ounce bottle of Miller Genuine Draft on the
Yes.
coffee table.
Yes.
My roommate, Joshua Cash, was there to let him in, obviously.
Yes.
I then came home from the fraternity. I said, there's a party. We'll leave in about 20 minutes. And that's when we went to the party, and I drove
Just
to the
tell
party.
me, what makes you say he was drinking at your house?
Because I saw him drinking.
Right.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
If he drank at your house and he got into his car and was driving and killed somebody, killed a 5-year-old child, and they took a blood alcohol on him and found that it was above a .10, you know who they would sue?
Singer Paul Shortino wants his friend David Kramer to pay for the tooth he broke on a beer bottle.
You furnished a minor.
I did not buy the beer
You
or
didn't
the
have
tequila.
Just a second. That doesn't make any difference, sir. I was trying to be kind to you. You furnished a minor alcohol. You don't have to buy it for him. You didn't say to him, you're under 21 years old and you can't drink in my house. I'm going to tell you something, sir. With the same scenario that you're telling me, if he drank at your house and he got into his car and was driving and killed somebody, killed a 5-year-old child, and they took a blood alcohol on him and found that it was above a .10, you know who they would sue? You. They do that now, and they do it relatively routinely in all of our states, sir, that if parents allow their children to have parties in a house, and if they don't supervise them adequately so that there's drinking at the party, one of those kids goes out and kills themselves or gets hurt in a car, they sue the parents, even if they weren't home, because that's their responsibility. In this case, you're over 21. You knew he was under 21. You had him in your house. He was drinking. So it's not very smart. What I'm telling you is you are responsible for his tooth because but for your intervention, nothing would have happened to his tooth. And if he was blitzed at the fraternity party, I'm not saying he has no responsibility. Of course he has responsibility. You know, everybody who's 20 and 3 months goes out and drinks because they think they're a big deal. However, he drank at your house. You stopped and bought these 40 ounces.
I did not stop and buy them.
Who bought them?
I don't know. They were there when I walked in the house from the fraternity.
Where'd the 40 ounces come from?
7-Eleven around the corner from his house.
And you stopped there to buy them?
It's right on the corner,
Did
right
you-
down the street.
did you
Oh, no, he went in because I don't have any idea.
But he went in while you were in the car.
Yeah.
Drank some more. So,
There was also a keg at the party, too, so they were
But you were-
furnishing beer at the party.
but you weren't drinking from the keg. You were drinking from one of the 40 ounces.
From the 40 ounces.
Yes.
That's how my
My
tooth was
witness, Josh
functioning.
Cash, can confirm that there was a bottle of tequila and a 40-ounce bottle before I got into that door. I did not buy the alcohol.
Which door?
My door to my home.
I'm telling you, you just told me, sir, you were present in the house, and you just said to me you were present while he was drinking.
I did not buy the...
You don't have to buy it. It's in your home over which you have control. You're not following me.
Well,
You're not following me. It's in your home. You have control what's things that are inside your home. He was a guest in your home. He drank in your home things that were in your home.
the beer and the... The beer and the tequila were not in my home. I did not bring them in my home.
How could you just say to me they weren't in your home? You just told me
They
they
were in
weren't
my
in
home,
your
but
home.
I didn't bring them into my home.
Doesn't make any difference whether you brought them into your home or not. He was drinking in your home.
She's ready to rule. Stay tuned.
Gotta be careful when you drink. Gotta be careful who you let drink in your house. Gotta be careful
Obviously.
about taking a minor to a fraternity party where you know there's gonna be drinking. I'm not saying he has no responsibility, sir. I wasn't even gonna get into this aspect of the case. I was just, the aspect of the case that was most important to me was, but for your act of tapping him, pushing him, whatever, his tooth would not have been cracked, and therefore you are responsible. Now, all I have is, sir, is bills for one dentist is $700. From one dentist to the other one is $455.
I've made payments on that one that you have right there. The total for the whole bill is right here.
Well, then let me see it.
That was for the temporary tooth that I have now. which
Temporary
needs to
tooth
be-
is on the original bill, sir. Temporary cosmetic
Yeah, the
crown.
plastic, yeah. And the tooth that I have now is still not correct, which is the porcelain one.
Listen, that's not all his fault.
Oh,
If you want to act like an idiot, you have to take partial responsibility.
You're absolutely right.
Your responsibility is you're
You're
going to walk
absolutely
around
right.
with a tooth that's not going to match the rest of your teeth.
Right.
That's your fault.
You're right.
That's your fault. Of course I'm right. I'm always right. $1,371 are all these bills together, sir, including the $455 that you paid to the first dentist and the $916 for the next dentist, which includes the crown. Would you give this back to him, please? Okay. You get stuck with the off-color tooth. He gets stuck with the bill. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,371. Thank you.
Is that excused? You may step out.
Judge Judy will return in a moment.
Back there to your right, please.
She's right on the money with what she deals with, and I'm actually really appreciative of what has happened, and I'm glad it's taken care of and rectified.
Not happy, obviously. Obviously, the law is a little gray in this area. I felt I was not responsible. I mean, I didn't buy the alcohol, but It's the judge's decision, and that's what counts. That's the final. That's it.
I'd like to continue to be friends with Dave, you know? I mean, this is not how I wanted it to turn out. I mean, he's a friend of mine. I've always thought of him as a good friend of mine. You know, he told me he would take care of it, and that's all I want, you know? You know, I'd like to shake his hand and tell him, you know, I want to be his buddy still.
19-year-old college student Eloisa Gibbs is suing schoolmates 25-year-old Brian Mbemba and 20-year-old Mitch Seiden for denting her car during a fight. Brian is countersuing, claiming Eloisa is trying to get him expelled.
Order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 108 on the calendar in the matter of Gibbs versus Mbemba Seiden. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have seats, please.
Who is Mr. Seiden?
Brian.
And what's your first name?
Brian.
And yours?
Mitch.
On your birth certificate?
Mitchell.
Mitchell, I'm not your friend.
Okay.
Mitchell. Now, Miss Gibbs, did you know Brian and Mitchell before this incident?
No, ma'am.
Stand up straight. According to your complaint, Miss Gibbs, you're sitting in your car, and these two idiots were having a fight.
Yes, ma'am.
And they ended up on the hood of your car, causing dents in the hood of your car. You want them to be responsible.
Yes. I was studying for a final.
Sitting in your car.
Yes, ma'am.
Brian and Mitchell say that A, there was no damage to your car, and B, if there was damage to your car, the other one did it.
Okay.
And then we have Brian, who is counterclaiming, because he says that because you are vindictive in pursuing this matter, he will probably be expelled from school and wants you to pay for his semester's tuition. That's your counterclaim. Is that
Yes,
right,
ma'am.
Brian?
Yes, ma'am.
Please don't laugh. Please don't laugh at Brian. All right, Miss Gibbs. What was the date of the incident?
May 13, 2002.
What time?
It happened, I'd say, around 1:40.
In the afternoon?
Yes, ma'am.
Where did this happen?
This happened in Nassau Community College by B1 in the south parking lot.
Did you see this fight before it ended up on the hood of your car?
I saw it from beginning to end.
Tell me what you saw.
I saw Brian walking towards the school, and he was passing a green Chevy Malibu. And in the green Chevy Malibu, there were two girls and Mitchell. As he was passing, I guess somebody said something. He stopped, turned around, walked back towards the car, got into a confrontation with one of the girls through the passenger window. That's when I saw Mitchell exit the car. Brian began to argue with Mitchell. They got into each other's faces. Brian hit Mitchell, and they began fighting. That's when I saw Brian.
Would you just a second? Would you go over and have a brief word with him?
Sure.
Thank you.
What I need for you to do is I need for you to respect this court. So
Yes,
if you
sir.
would stand up straight.
Yes, sir.
And try to restrict your laughter.
Yes,
okay?
sir.
My man.
We're sorry to disturb you. You have your train of thought?
Yes.
Brian hit Mitchell.
Brian hit Mitchell. They continued fighting. Next thing I know, Mitchell's body is on my car. Brian is on top of Mitchell. I see him hit Mitchell a couple of times. Then Brian completely flees the scene. At that point...
Took off?
Yes. When he took off, I got out of my car, confronted Mitchell, told him, look at the damage that you've done to my car. I want this taken care of. That's when I got the phone number of one of the girls that was in the car with him in the green Malibu. So I can get in touch with him to get the money for my car.
Have pictures of your car?
Yes, I do. I have the police report. I have pictures of my car.
Let me see it all.
The whole time that this was happening, I was on the phone with my boyfriend
report.
from the United States Merchant Marine Academy.
Thank you. So it wasn't the hood of your car, it was really the side
It
panel
was
of
the
your
side, front panel of the driver's side, and there were some dents on the hood. And an object couldn't have done that, like me hitting something or something
No.
crashing into my car, because the paint is in perfect shape. There's no scratches or anything.
Okay. Now, Brian, I would like you to tell me, you're passing by this green car, and evidently you wanted to say something to one of the gals in the car. Tell me what you said to her.
Well, actually, what happened was somebody shouted something from the car. There was a laugh. There had been a lot of ridiculing by these people before. It was finals week, and I was going to walk away, but I was under so much pressure from my test. I said, you know, I'm tired of putting up with this. I went back to the car.
What did they say?
They were laughing. Somebody shouted a profanity I'd rather not say. And,
You could say it, I've heard everything.
call me a...
Someone in the car,
Yeah.
male or female voice?
It sounded like a female voice. So I approached the car, and right away they started denying it, and we mixed words. Mitch got out of the car, and we...
When you say mixed words, what did you say?
You know what? I can't remember word for word. I maybe, you know, just yelled back and forth. Here's where the true story starts now. He got out of the car, Mitchell. We confronted Elias, my witness. He was involved too, although she never even remembers him being there, so I don't know which fight she was watching.
Which actually I don't.
Elias comes up, he tries to break us up. At the time, there was really going to be no confrontation. What happened was, Mitchell, I don't know, like, went to push me away a little bit, and I made contact with him. At that time, he turned around, he went to his car, he grabbed what was an ice cleaner, you know, one of those brush stick ice cleaners, and he came at me to hit me. Elias tried to grab him to stop him. I tried to grab the stick. That's when we got into a scuffle, which lasted about 20 seconds, maybe 25 seconds. I never threw the first punch. I never ever put Mitch on top of the car. And after the thing, I did not flee the scene right away. We walked away, we calmed down. I left the school so there would be no further problems. I never even seen her there. I never saw a car get hit by anybody. I wasn't on a car. I surely didn't put him on a car, and I didn't punch him first.
Now we'll hear from you.
Well, I was in the car, the girls, and we were laughing, just waiting for class to end, just hanging out in the car. And Brian had walked by. I don't know if they made a direct statement towards him, but he took it that way, came to the car, started telling the girls he's gonna strangle them, or like, you know, like just do it, you know, being a bully. And he asked me if I had a problem. I said, no, you know, I got no problem. So he told me to get out the car. I got out the car to try to tell him, relax, you know, we don't need to fight. You know, you're 25, I'm 20 years old, there's no need for this. And he headbutts me. So I fight back, and then as I'm fighting back, his friend comes and they say they broke it up, but where I come from, if you get into a fight, one-on-one, and the other person's friend grabs me, I think, you know, it's a two-on-one. Then I went back to the car, got a shovel, you know, a scraper to defend myself, because he's a pretty big guy, little guy, got his friend with him, and with two girls. I struck him with it, you know, I had to do what I had to do. And then we had a little scuffle, this and that. I don't know if we dented the girl's car or if it was done like that already, but she had confronted me saying this happened, and if it did happen, then I'll take care of it, but if not, then I don't really think we did that damage.
Now I'd like to hear about your counterclaim.
Yeah. Up to this point, I have no previous record. I have no arrest record. My academic record is stellar. I made the dean's list the past 2 years. I'm too old to be getting involved in frivolous encounters. She tells the dean, and her story has so many holes in it, it's hard for me to even sit there and listen to it. And now because of this, my records are impounded, so I can't transfer schools. The least I'm going to get is academic probation, which ruins my scholarship chances, which I have plenty of. And at most, I'm getting expelled. So I'm going to lose a half semester of my life for this, for a false statement, because I know absolutely 100% I did not dent her car.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Yes,
You know one thing. You know when you were passing the green car and somebody called you a...
Yes, I know that
That you
too.
should have kept walking.
I should have, but...
Right.
Your Honor.
That, you know.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
At the moment when these two were...
Look right here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know, Brian was just a little upset at...
Look at me.
And later today...
I said I will definitely honor our initial agreement. I don't in any way want to...
Stick you.
Right. She started to get really upset.
Well, just show me the rest of the payments that you made.
That's the only payment that I made.
Why?
That's
Why?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. College student Eloisa Gibbs says her car was damaged during a fight between schoolmates Brian Mbemba and Mitch Seiden. Brian and Mitch are blaming each other.
So you're dealing with a couple of girls, 19, 20-year-old big mouths.
Yes.
Right? Who call you a name. You're not a are you?
Constantly, absolutely not.
All right. So that you knew it wasn't true when they called you that bad name.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So you keep on walking.
I understand.
You keep on walking. That you know for sure. Then we go back to the police report. Police interviewed witnesses who stated that Mitch Seiden was the person who exited the vehicle to fight, and that they did, in fact, fall on the complainant's vehicle.
Okay.
Independent witness, not her. You had no vendetta against her. She doesn't even know who you are.
Absolutely. But
Why in the world?
I see this as an opportunity to make money off of something that was already there. Hey,
Oh,
look,
really?
fight, opportunity. Let's make these guys pay for my damage.
My boyfriend saw my car prior to me going to school and knows there was no damage
Miss
to my
Gibbs,
car.
If
Miss
my
Gibbs,
girlfriend,
Miss Gibbs, you need not answer him. Now, in all fairness to you, Brian, you have a witness here. I will hear the witness.
Thank you.
Who wants to stand up and be counted?
I'll stand up, Your Honor. At the moment when these two were...
Look right here.
Oh, I'm sorry. When these two were all fighting, there was no force against any car. Nobody fell on any car. There was no need for her to explain the car dent. There was these people right here didn't cause.
Brian was walking by himself past the green car. Where did you come from?
I came back with him.
Just a minute. Brian is walking past the green car.
Brian walked past the car, and then I see him turn around and walk back to the car.
Yes.
I tried to catch up to him to see what his problem was. When I went up to the car, and he was trying to ask the girls who were calling him a name or something, Mitch stepped out of the car and told Brian that it wasn't him. I don't know, Brian was just a little upset about the girls laughing at him or calling him a name. So
Look at me!
These two started to fight a little, but I didn't see them fall on any car nor cause a dent to any car at
Thank
all.
you very much for your participation.
You're welcome.
Brian, your counterclaim is dismissed. It's nonsense.
Okay,
and
thank
as
you.
far as the damage to the plaintiff's car, there isn't a question in my mind that the two of you caused the damage to the car. You should have kept on walking past the green car. And Mitch, you shouldn't have gotten out of the green car.
And I just try to calm him down.
You shouldn't have gotten out of the green car. Whatever the situation was, the two of you were responsible for her damage. So, judgment for the plaintiff for the amount of $870 to be shared by the two defendants, and the counterclaim is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
If I dented the car, I must have been blacked out during the time because I can't recall it at all.
I believe that Judge Judy made the right decision.
Whatever happened, happened. Whatever the way the case went. Everything works out the way it does.
If you know you didn't do anything wrong, make sure you got it right.
Stay in your house, lock your doors, and don't go outside so you don't get sued.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Peterson versus Thornhill. Step forward, please.
20-year-old college student Serene Peterson is suing her former friend, administrative assistant Jasmine Thornhill, for unauthorized use of her credit card. Jasmine says she had Serene's permission.
Miss Peterson, the defendant was a good friend of yours. You claim, however, that she stole your credit card and used it without your permission, racking up tremendous bills for which you are responsible. The defendant says she did, in fact, use your credit card. She used it with your permission. You had an arrangement where she would pay the bill, and she was perfectly prepared to honor that arrangement. You knew her for a long time?
Around 6 months.
When do you claim she stole your credit card?
December 15th, I was over her apartment on a social engagement. When I left, I accidentally left my wallet with my credit card inside her apartment.
Go ahead.
2 days later, after searching my belongings, I called her and asked her if she had it. She says that she did, and I went over and I retrieved it the same day.
Your credit card?
Yes.
Go ahead.
After that, everything was fine until I received my statement. That was in mid-January. The statement had some charges, along with the charge that I purchased for Miss Thornhill while I was at her apartment.
What do you mean the charge that you purchased for her?
When I was over her apartment on the 15th, she asked me if she could use my credit card to purchase something online. I agreed to make the purchase for her.
What did you purchase for her online?
An online thing from Pier 1 for $62.67.
Can I see that bill, please?
Yes.
Now you have certain things highlighted.
Yes, those are all of the charges that Ms. Thornhill made, except for the one on December 5th.
You have one here for December 19th.
Yes, that's correct.
But you got your credit card back on December 17th.
Yes.
You have something on the 18th.
There are a series of charges made after December 15th, extending onto May. I have a complete list. All of the charges I did not make, Ms. Thornhill made.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Serene Peterson says former friend Jasmine Thornhill stole her credit card and ran up charges. Jasmine says Serene gave her permission to use it.
Let me hear your version of how you got this credit card.
Sure, Your Honor. Prior to December 15th, I had asked Ms. Peterson if I could use her credit card in order to make some online purchases for Christmas and some other purchases as well. She said it was no problem. She would come to my workplace in the next couple of days and she would give me the card so I could go ahead and do that. She came to my workplace as agreed and she left the card in my possession. After that, I proceeded to make a few of the online purchases and I asked her, was it okay if in the coming couple of weeks, if I needed, if I could use it again? And Ms. Peterman's statement to me was, well, hey, I don't have a job right now. You're working full-time. If you want to use it, just make sure you pay the bill. I'll send the statements to you and we won't have a problem. So I began to use the card under the verbal agreement that we had made. Ms. Peterson got her statement in mid-January. I asked her what the amount was she going to send that to me? She said no, because of the fact that she had made a charge in December herself. She'd go ahead and take care of that payment. She said, but then when the rest of my charges became evident in the February bill, that I would begin to be responsible for it. In February, as agreed, she mailed me the payment, and I have proof of that because I sent in a money order to make that payment.
Your Honor, may I say something, please?
Go ahead.
After Ms. Peterson reviewed that statement, and I sent a copy of it to her, of the statement itself, along with a copy of the money order to her in the mail as proof that I had indeed made that payment. Then came February, and she received a statement, and she was very concerned by the growing balance. I told her, I said, I can understand that, but it just so happens that you and I have a different standard of the way that we live. I understand some of the things I might buy might appear expensive to you, but I'm expecting tax money. I'll definitely use some of that towards lowering the balance, and I will definitely honor our initial agreement. I don't in any way want to...
stick you.
Right, exactly. March came along. That's when Ms. Peterson, I think, she started to get really upset.
Well, just show me the rest of the payments that you made.
That's the only payment that I made successfully.
Why?
That was the only statement that she sent to me.
In February?
Yes, ma'am.
Why did you make purchases in March?
Those actually, ma'am, were purchases that I had made in February that were on back order.
Then you cancel them. What are you, nuts?
No, honestly, ma'am, you're right. That's something she certainly could have done.
All right, Ms. Peterson, let me tell you what I think. I think you lied to me when you said she stole your card and you had no knowledge of the fact that she was using your card till you got these statements. Let me tell you why. Because if I got a statement in the month of January that showed unauthorized usage of my card, and since you weren't using the card at all, correct?
Correct.
Then you cut up the card, you call the company immediately, and you say, discontinue this card, I'm canceling this card, no further purchases are authorized. You didn't do that.
I did, Your Honor.
No. If you did that immediately, in January, is that what you're saying?
Yes,
Then you are not responsible for these. If you canceled your card, and they continue to allow someone else to use it in an unauthorized way, you are not responsible.
When I called them in December, they told me that they had been trying to contact me because they had red flagged my card because of suspicious behavior. They had also told me that someone called up and got my card reactivated. Numerous times I called them and I canceled my card.
Do you know her mother's maiden name?
No, ma'am.
Do you know her social security number?
I don't know by heart, but I did know it.
Good. Did you ever call to reinstate her card?
No, ma'am.
No. Ms. Peterson, what happened is that you let her use your card.
I did not.
Then if these are unauthorized charges on your account, and you did not give her permission, and you canceled your card, then you are not responsible for these.
That's what I told Bank of... However, they told me, because I told them that I knew who was making the charges, I said, I can direct you to the person who is fraudulently using my card. They said that it's a civil matter now and that I have to bring up the charges against her because they are not going to take them off.
No, that's not true. Call the police. Madam, if what you're telling me is that somebody stole your credit card and used your credit card without your permission, call the police and have her arrested. Simple as that. They're going to arrest her and you won't be out any money. You won't be out any money if what you're telling me is true. What you're telling me is true, correct?
Yes.
Right? You didn't give her permission to use your card.
No.
You're sure of that?
I'm positive.
Then you don't have anything to worry about. Call, have her arrested for grand larceny. You are not responsible for the payments because you did, in fact, cancel your card.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, I did.
Perfect. Then we have nothing to worry about. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Yeah, this is case number 12 on the calendar in the matter of McDonald Klein versus Bortz.
Expect.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. You folks have seats, please.
Well, I want to tell you, trying to figure out this case made me a little dizzy. So I'm going to test out the facts on Officer Byrd and see if he can get them from what I understand the facts are from your papers. You're Terry.
Yes, ma'am.
Who's Jillian?
Yeah.
According to what I understand, Jillian made the stupid mistake of bringing $6,000 in cash to school one day. Is that right, Jillian?
Yes.
You were going to buy a car?
Yeah.
Terry offered to give you a ride.
Yeah, he told me he would take me to get it.
To school?
No,
And for the car?
To get the car.
And you go into school, and you decide to leave the $6,000 in Terry's car.
Yeah.
You come out and find that from the $6,000, there's $4,800. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Terry says, I don't know where the money is, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You go home, you tell your brother, and you probably tell your father and what happened. And you and your brother decide to go over to Terry's house to confront him about the money, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You claim that when they came over to your house to confront Terry about taking her money, that they caused, he, the brother, Christopher, took a bat and bashed in
I didn't even bring your bat. Oh, I'm sorry.
And bashed in your car.
It was my mother's car. I was the adult at the house at the time.
Bashed in the family car. They say that when they got there, Terry and somebody else came out and started to bang on their car. They want damages that it is alleged that you did to their car and their house. Do we understand that now?
I got everything you said.
Oh, good. That took me a while to figure out.
I'm glad I got the Reader's Digest version.
Now I'm going to start with you. Why would you bring $6,000 in cash to school?
Okay, because my mom was going out of town and she was going to buy me a car because I have a son and like my car didn't have air conditioner, and I was just excited to get it.
Just give me the Reader's Digest version, as Byrd says.
Okay, so I went to the bank and just brought the money to school because he said he would take me, so I left it in there so that, because like people go through into Terry's car,
Where in the car?
Under his seat. Because I drive his car to get lunch every day, so I was taking his car, and so I just put it under the seat in there because at school people go through your stuff, and I didn't want it taken at school, so.
All right, now, Terry, did she show you how much money was in the envelope?
I didn't find out that she placed the money in my car until we were already, after we had ate lunch, and she had still had the keys.
Ma'am, during third period, that's when I got to school because I don't have first two periods. When I got to school, I asked Terry, I'm like, Terry, I have $6,000 with me, I don't want to carry around. Can I please put it in your car?
Talk slower, please.
Sorry. So I asked him if I could put the money in his car. He gave me the keys. During third period, I went and put it in his car, and then I had the keys again until lunch. So he knew I put it in there way before lunch.
During third period, she was telling everybody, yeah, I'm going to go get my car today, I'm so happy. And she said, I'm looking for Dwayne, which is one of my friends and like her boyfriend. So I'm looking for Dwayne. I said, why are you looking for Dwayne? So I need to hide my money in his car. I said, you can hide your money in my car if you want to. She said, no, that's okay.
No.
And about her saying I was going to take her to go get her car after school, I said that for a brief moment, and at the same time I said, oh wait, I have weight training after school, I can't do it. She was with Dwayne after school when she came to the weight room to ask us if she could look at my car, because Dwayne was taking her.
Ma'am, they weren't having weight training for a couple weeks, and then that was the first day they started having weight training again. He didn't even know till after his weight training class, which was like right before lunch. So he didn't even know till after lunch that he couldn't take me.
How many people did you take out for lunch?
There was 2 people in there. I was in the car the whole time. It was under my seat.
But there were 2 other people in the car. Is that right?
Yes.
All right, so now you find that the money is missing. You go back home.
No.
Tell me what you did after you found the money missing.
He said he had weight training, so I went back to the school because he had weight training still, and I wanted to look in his car. And so, because Dwayne took me since he said he couldn't, and me and Dwayne went in there, and I asked him if I could go through his car, and he went through it before I did, you know. He's like, oh no, it's not in here, and just locked his car.
So what did you do the next day?
We went to his house to ask him about the money, and he has my brother's amplifier. It's for a stereo.
Okay. Now you can tell me what happened when they came to your house the next day.
Okay, Your Honor. About 12:30 Saturday, there was like a loud bang on the door, and we all were like, what is that? And my brother's friend opened the door and said, it's Dylan and her brother, you know, they're mad. And they're screaming, all the neighbors are coming outside because we're standing at the door. I'm telling them, you need to go. Then I saw that he had a bat. And I said, you need to get out of here right now because you have a weapon, you know. And that's when they got mad. They left. They were calling us, and we're coming back with a gun. No. I mean, my witness, I have a neighbor here that lives right next door to us. She saw the whole thing. She was on the phone with the police. Then we started hearing a bam, bam, bam.
Now I'm shooting.
If you say another word,
I'm sorry.
You better worry about the other arm.
And,
you understand?
Hold on.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
How was I going to hurt you if I call you a name? And I didn't even call you the name.
No, I never said.
Hey! Stupid! Shut up!
I'm just trying to
That's the third time I told you.
Whatever.
Not whatever.
Your Honor, he never directly called me and just...
You don't have to explain anything to me.
Okay.
You know, he's got mush in his brains.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Annalisa McDonald and her brother Terry McDonald claim Jillian Bortz and her brother Christopher Bortz vandalized their car with a baseball bat. Jillian says Terry stole $1,200 from her.
Go ahead.
Okay, so when I came outside, I saw the neighbors, a couple of neighbors outside, and they were all on their phones calling the police. And I saw my brothers at the end of the apartments chasing after them, and they, you know, they were in their cars.
I missed this.
They were like already, they were speeding off. And so, and then I looked around the corner, I saw the car, and I was like, oh my God, you know, I have the pictures here, and it's obvious it was beating with a bat.
Yeah, I'll take a look at the pictures. Now, what better grasp can you lend to this, Terry?
All right, my friend, I asked him to go get the door because he heard the beating at the door. He said, Terry, you need to come out there. I went out there, and Jillian was standing there with her brother. And the first thing he's, give us the money and give us the amp now. I'm like, so at that point I'm mad because first she's accusing me of stealing money. It's the second time I've heard it. First time it was just her mom talking to my sister. And we're mad, I'm like, get out of here, we ain't got your money, this and that. He said, yes you do, give us the money. And so he steps in my sister's face. So I get him out of my sister's face, I step in front of him.
How did you do that?
He was all in her face. My sister saw he had a bat. You guys need to get out of here. So I'm like, so he started getting in her face. That's when I stepped in front of her. And that's when he had a bat the whole time. I wasn't worried about it. I had my friends here. You guys need to
How did his hand get broken?
Yeah, explain that one.
Yeah, I will. So we were mad.
Just
but
a sec.
All right.
Shut up.
Oh, I know you're going to tell me that. All right.
Go ahead.
So everybody was cussing and exchanging words and snap.
How did his hand get broken?
He says it happened. Well, you get to it.
You're the one with the grasp,
right,
Terry.
Right, it's all a story that I was trying to lead to it. And so he left down the stairs. He was going downstairs with his sister. We closed the door and went back inside. And they're like, Terry, put your shoes on. And then, squash, we hear windows getting busted. So we all run out the house. He's running with his bat, running away to his truck. She's running to her car. And me, my best friend James, and my brother Randall are running after him. Randall, the only one that even got close to him, and it was after he was already in the truck speeding away. My brother had a broomstick, a plastic one, and he just swung at the back, hit the back of the truck, you know, hit the cab part, and then that was it. He sped away. We were all mad. We didn't find out.
No idea how
we didn't find out. He said his hand was broken until the cop told us. If I was going to beat him up or something, he would have been real beat up.
Now, I want to know how this happened to the car.
It's my turn. Okay, we went up there. We asked for the amp and the money. They all come to the door. She's calling us white trash, all kinds of names. They come with a pool stick. They all
Who's they?
Him. He's the one that hit me. He hit me with the pool stick. He swung for me. I ducked, hit me in the hand, broke my hand. I mean, you can see it, right? So at that time, we're running away. I see something on the ground, like a piece of wood or something, because they live upstairs. It was downstairs. And I'm just trying to defend myself. I mean, I'm so angry right now, and then I just start swinging at their car. This happened after, the car happened after the fact that they broke my hand.
Are you right-handed or left-handed?
Right-handed.
It must have been painful for you,
It was painful. I mean, I should be suing them.
Just a minute. You didn't let me finish.
I'm sorry.
That must have been really painful to pick up
terrible.
a bat or a piece of wood after your hand is broken and swing the bat at least 10, 12 times in order to cause this kind of damage to the car. That must have been real painful.
It was only 4 times.
But when you're 4 times that it was painful, is that right?
It wasn't too bad.
Wasn't?
Not that bad.
Because your adrenaline's pumping and you don't like pay attention to what's going on.
Really? Where did you get your medical license? I'd like to hear the witness. Who's the witness? Could you step up, please? Could you tell me your name?
Tiara Young.
Miss Young, you're a neighbor?
Yes.
So tell me about it.
At first, I just thought they were just an argument. I didn't get involved with the police until he called them several times. Then I heard Annalisa say, I know you don't have a bat. What are you going to do with the bat? So I didn't get involved until I heard bat. And then there was mention of I have something else for you, kind of as if he had a gun. So I called the police. It seemed like he was instigating the most. So I went downstairs to try to see the license plate number or what type of vehicle, because I knew their physical description. I was watching through the blinds the whole time. That's when I walked up, the first time, it didn't really sound like it was something hitting the car, kind of like the dumpsters right by our building, so it seemed like maybe somebody was just throwing trash in the bin. When I turned, that's when I saw him with the bat at the car. I did not try to stay to see him beat the car in anymore. He had already called them. I was just trying to get out.
How was I going to hurt you if I call you a name? And I didn't even call you the name.
No, I never said
you called me the name. Stupid! Shut up! That's the third time I told you, right?
I'm just trying to.
That's the third time I told you.
Whatever.
Not whatever. Is that your father?
Yeah.
Believe me, he's not pleased with you right now.
Not too.
Your Honor, he never directly called me.
You don't have to explain anything to me.
Okay.
You know, he's got mush in his brains.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy, Annalisa McDonald, and her brother Terry claim their car was vandalized by Jillian Bortz and her brother Christopher.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Young. You have a counterclaim for damage to your car, your home, and the return of the money that was stolen. Let's get to the damages to your car and your home. Who wants to report on that?
I can.
Go ahead.
Okay. I had to file a police report with the school about the money, and they gave both of us a copy of it with both of our addresses on it. The same day that they gave him a copy of it, my house, it was just my dad was there. They threw a brick through our kitchen window.
Who did?
It was them. His friend James, his best friend James that he just told you about, his truck was identified there by 2 different people.
James?
Yeah, James.
Just a second.
Okay.
James? That's not him.
Yeah, but they identified them.
Who's they?
2 neighbors.
Are they here?
No, they're not.
What's next?
My dad knows more about what happened that night than my
Was
dad.
your father
just
at
called me.
home?
Yeah, he was at home. It was 1 in the morning.
Mr. Bortz, is that your last name?
Yes.
Can you tell me what you saw?
I was asleep. I was awakened a loud banging noise. And a few minutes later, a neighbor had drove up in her house. You can see through the kitchen window. And I just glanced that way, and I see the kitchen windows broken out.
But you didn't see who vandalized your house?
No, I did not.
Did you see who vandalized your car?
No.
Did that happen on the same night?
This was the same, yes.
What happened to your car?
Same thing, large bricks or rocks thrown at it.
Was there any witness to that?
Yes.
Is that witness here?
No.
Have there been any arrests in that case?
I have no idea.
But you plan on pursuing that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Judge, about that same night, me and my brother were in our bed asleep at 2 in the morning. The cops came, asked us about it. Yeah, there's been, told us that there was a kitchen window broken in.
I wouldn't say anything if I were you right now.
Oh, but they cleared it. I mean,
I wouldn't say anything if I were you right now. That case may not be over. Jillian, so let's talk a little bit about your money. I don't know who took your money. I know that you don't put money in a car, in a school parking lot, use the car, take people around for lunch, talk about the fact that you're going to buy a car, and then ask a court to make a determination that without any proof whatsoever, any direct proof, that somebody is responsible for that money being missing. The person who's responsible, the only person I know who's responsible for that money being missing is the person who was foolish enough to take it to school and to put it under the front seat of a car in a school parking lot. That's you. So I can't reward that with a judgment against Terry on your counterclaim because there isn't sufficient proof. The only thing I do know is that you and your brother is clearly a hothead, went to their house. And I may not necessarily fully believe these 2 people because they have a little bit of an axe to grind with this whole thing because they had the interaction with you. But I believe Miss Young. I believe her when she says there was nobody who was hitting you with bats and pool cues. I'm speaking before your brother smashed out the car, which he acknowledges that he did. If you hadn't put yourself in that position in the first place by going over there with your brother, you wouldn't be in this mess. Can I see an estimate for the damage to the car,
I have
please?
the estimate and the breakdown of the cost under it.
Now, I assume that on your side, the person who assaulted you, if you claim that you were assaulted and you broke your hand, you were assaulted with a deadly instrument, I assume that you filed a police report and insisted on an arrest. Is that right?
I did not.
Why not?
Because I was leaving the next day to go back home.
Tell her how
What difference does it make if you're assaulted?
I tried to go in, I live in Hawaii. I tried to go down there to the police station. They said just take care of it here.
You have
They
to
said
take
they
care
can't.
of it
They
here.
said they can't do anything down there because it's in Hawaii. It's a different. It's separated from Vegas.
You go to the police. You
I
say,
did go
was
to. That's what I just
assaulted.
told you. I went to the
I was
police
assaulted.
station.
I want to pursue the matter. You have a father. How old are you?
19.
You have a father. You say, I'm filing a complaint. I want the person who assaulted me to be punished. I want them arrested. They assaulted me.
Well, I didn't do that.
Well, that's what I would do. Somebody assaulted me and broke my hand. In any event, I'm dismissing your counterclaim. You did absolutely the wrong thing by going over there. Mr. Bortz, I don't know who it was that caused the vandalism to your house. I assume that you have an open complaint and that the police will follow up on that complaint. This is not an old complaint. So I assume that if they find, after interviewing witnesses, that this young man had anything to do with vandalizing your house, you will pursue that complaint, as well as pursuing the complaint with regard to your son's assault. I mean, I would be more worried about it if my son's hand was broken than if my window was broken in my kitchen. Right? Of course. As I said, I don't know who took the money, but you're going to get your deductible paid. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $500. Counterclaim is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Says she admits making half of the calls. She said you did make some of those calls. Her defense is that while you were together, she put her money in an account that was used for paying household bills, and there was more than enough money there to cover that phone bill. In addition, she has a counterclaim because she says you took back the engagement ring, you stole it out of her jewelry box, and she wants you to pay for the wedding dress because she had no reason to break off the engagement. That's your counterclaim, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So you started to live together in 1999, and you broke up when?
January 17th of '01.
Now, how did you handle the finances between 1999 and January of '01? Did you have a joint account, or did you have one account to pay bills, and was it your account?
Well, I put together a joint account. Okay.
So you had a joint account.
Right. I had canceled out the joint account during when we had a problem before that January 17th date. I canceled all that account out, so that account was gone. Everything was in my name.
In the year 2000, did you have a joint account?
Yes.
And did you both put money into that account?
I did, yes.
You mean the defendant didn't put any money into that account?
Very little.
Very little is not an answer. She put money in that account.
Yes.
So if she put in any money into that joint account is both of yours. Because no court, not this court, is going to go back for a year and figure, well, I put in $500, she put in $25. I put in $2,000, she put in $500. It's not going to happen. As long as she put in some money, that money was all of yours. Now, tell me the month you closed out that account.
It was closed out in January.
January of '01. Mm-hmm. Oh. And how much money was in the account at that time?
About $200.
You have any paperwork to prove that?
None.
Now, how did you handle the finances with regard to rent and...
I paid all bills. I signed all the checks. I signed all the mortgage payments. I signed everything. Everything was in my name because she couldn't have an account. She owed everybody so much money for everything that never once we couldn't, and nothing could be put in her name.
Okay. Now, during the time that you were together, had the defendant ever made calls to the psychic hotline before?
Never. Never, never, never.
This
She'd
was the
like to
first
go to
time.
psychics, though.
But this was the first time she had ever used the psychic hotline.
Correct. Matter of fact, the date, the January 17th, was the date I told her that it was time for her to go and move out, and that's the exact date that she started making these phone calls.
Can I see the bill, please?
Absolutely.
So what were you trying to find out from this psychic?
Your Honor, it wasn't only me It was him too, okay? And he was not only calling these psychics
Judge,
because...
that's untrue.
Shh, don't speak. You see how quiet she was?
Because they were calling his house approximately 4:30 every night asking for him. He not only started this with calling these psychics, he went on the online at nighttime calling them too. And I am the witness for that because I was sitting right alongside of him watching this.
What kind of work do you do, Mr. Wacker?
I'm a safety manager for a second largest school bus company in the United States.
You work Monday through Friday?
Yes.
What time?
Usually from 8 in the morning to 5 at night.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm a school bus driver for the first largest school bus company, Laidlaw. And I work...
Just your hours of work?
6:30 to 5.
You drive kids to school and then you go home?
Yes, and I do trips in between.
Just a second. You drive kids to work and then you go home. Okay. Well, some of these calls are in the evening.
From that January 17th date on, I didn't spend very much time at home. As a matter of fact, I made sure I wasn't at home.
Okay.
And because I didn't want to be anywhere around her. As far as me making any phone calls to the psychic hotlines, there's a 1-800 number that you can call to get a voice stamp. Every one of those phone calls had her voice on it as a voice stamp.
All right.
Which means she made the phone call. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Now, I got the psychic calls. Psychic calls were $1,400.
Right.
Right? Okay. Half of that is $750 because he was still living together. Now, I want to move on to you. He took back the
ma'am.
engagement ring?
Yes. He stole it out of my jewelry box while I was in the process of moving.
That's okay. He's entitled to it back. He should have asked for it nicely, but he's entitled to it back. Engagement is over. Ring is given in contemplation of marriage. It goes back to the person who gave it. That's him. Let's get to the wedding dress. That's the wedding dress?
Yes, ma'am.
So why should he pay for it?
I can't wear it. I can't even sell it. I've put things in the courier post. No calls. I cannot sell
I don't think
it.
it'll fit me. So.
Cute.
Thank you.
What other arrangements were made for the wedding?
None. There was no hall booked. There was no caterers. There was no music. There was
a
nothing
date
booked.
set?
Yeah, it was supposed to be July 7th.
Okay. And when did you buy the wedding dress?
I bought it in September, the year before, 2000.
Why?
Because he told me it was time, everything was serious.
Time for what?
For us to be engaged. So he told me, go out and buy your wedding dress, and that's what I did.
So, put it away. Maybe you'll use it again. He's not paying for that. But you also understand, Mr. Wacker, that I have to make a judgment with regard to these bills. You and the defendant were living... What? I'm speaking. You and the defendant were living together as a couple.
Correct.
Bills being paid as a couple. If, let us say, this relationship did not terminate in January or February and she made these psychic calls, what you would have done is had a fit.
I had a fit anyway when I saw the bill.
Well, but by that time you had a fit and you didn't have any of the perks that go along with the relationship. But if you were together, it's like, you know, one mate going out and buying 6 pairs of shoes. What are you, crazy? 6 pairs of shoes? You only have 2 feet. What can you use 6 pairs of shoes for? You have a big fight. And then it's finished, and you move on. You don't say, you're going to pay for every one of those shoes, go out and get a job. You don't. Whatever.
But may I interject?
Yeah, you may, but you get where I'm going, sir.
Yeah.
You were a couple.
But
Until
at that point, from the 17th on,
yeah,
or actually, the night before that, the 17th, okay?
Yeah.
It was the 16th, is when I told her to move. Technically then, we weren't a couple anymore.
Yes, you were.
And she made these calls, and she made these calls, and she shouldn't have, because she's trying to find out whether or not the relationship's going to continue to work or whatever. You know what I mean? Well, I guess who it was, Miss Cleo, or whoever she called, told her I guess it wasn't going to work, or didn't believe her, so she kept calling her. You know, I just don't feel I should have to pay for all of her phone calls when it was a proven fact that she made the phone calls with the voice stamps. Her voice is on every one of those
You're
phone
not
calls.
following me, sir. You're trying to say the relationship was over at the time when I told her it was over. You're living in the same house. You've been living in the same house for a couple of years. She needs time to put her things together, to find another place to live, to do all of those things. That's what happens
But
when
I'm
one
not
of these
asking her to pay anything else.
Hey, listen to me very carefully, sir. That's the drill. You're a couple. You come in here and you say, first I'm a couple, then I'm not a couple. You want your things back. You want the engagement ring back because the engagement was over. You're entitled to it back because it's over. Had you been married, you wouldn't get the engagement ring back. There are certain things that a relationship has as intrinsic to the relationship. In this case, since 1999, the bills were paid out of a joint account up until a couple of days before you decided to terminate it. So you lived as a couple. Half of the psychic bills come to $737. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $737. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
By the way, I wouldn't have needed a psychic to know this relationship was not going to work.
I can't believe she lied up there like she did about saying that I made these psychic phone calls.
He's a user, a loser. I'm glad she's got him, and I'm glad I'm out of it.
That's ridiculous.
I put closure to this. He can't. He needs to end it and get on with his life. I already did.
I guess she figures that these psychics are going to tell her what to do and all. I'm not going to deal with that, you know.
He's an idiot.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Davidson versus Millard. Step forward, please.
Retired scientist Maxine Davidson is suing her former friend, retired chemist Merle Millard, for credit card charges that were made on a trip to Mexico.
Miss Davidson, according to your complaint, you and the defendant were friends, and he invited you to go on a trip to Mexico in his camper, and he said you would have no expense, that he was going to pay for everything. And you claimed that while you were on this trip, you had to use your credit card for certain things. Yes.
And you have not been fully reimbursed for all of the charges that were made during that trip, although Mr. Millard did give you some money towards your credit cards and towards the bills. You still have additional bills that you want him to pay for. And Mr. Millard says there was never an agreement that he would make all the payments for all the expenses, that he was supposed to just go together. Is that right, sir?
Correct. It was a 50-50.
That was your arrangement
It's
with
my
her?
understanding.
No, look at me, sir. That was your agreement with her. You would share the expenses 50-50. Is that what you're telling me?
We never discussed it.
You never
To
discussed it?
my knowledge.
Okay, fine. So it was your assumption.
Correct.
You never had a discussion about it.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Maxine Davidson says ex-friend Merle Millard owes for credit card charges he made while they were on vacation in Mexico.
All right, so, Ms. Davidson, I'd like you to tell me how this trip came about.
I met Mr. Millard in September, around the 7th on my birthday, at a Kinko's. And we were both doing our life stories in film. And he was very courteous, and he wanted to meet me again to talk about England. He knows where I'm from, in the north of England. And we never did get to talk about it, but we went out to dinner several times. He didn't have any credit cards because he said he had been bankrupt a year before. So no problem. He gets a very good salary from the government as a scientist. And he would pay me back. Then the next thing is he invites us in his refurbished vehicle, a Winnebago motorhome. And
What did he say
he
to
said,
you?
bring nothing but yourself. We don't need anything. He had plenty of food, plenty to drink. The vacation would be on him because my daughter was visiting with me, and my grandson then of 10 months, he invited them also. She had
And
never been to Ensenada.
Did they go?
Yes,
Your daughter
they
and
went.
grandson went.
Mm-hmm.
When did you leave on the trip?
Approximately the 21st of October.
Okay.
2000.
And how long was the trip planned?
We went for 2 days, but we stayed 6 because of the vehicle experiencing trouble with the motor. We were stranded there.
Okay, so tell me what happened when you were on
Yes,
this trip and what you spent money
Mr.
on.
Millard had no money, no credit cards. He had been bankrupt. He said, don't worry, I will pay you back every penny as soon as I get my money from the government. So, of course, what could I do? I used 3 credit cards, 2 of which were stolen or lost. I never did get them back. So when I got back to the USA, I ordered more. Fortunately, they were maxed to the limit, so there were charges on it, more than we made in Mexico.
What kind of expenses did you put on the credit card?
Okay, his finding the parts to put the motor back together, it was something to do with the overheating. The fan was the wrong size.
How much did you spend on the motorhome or the
Close to
Winnebago?
$1,000 with food and motor costs. Oh, I don't know. He
Answer
wouldn't
my-
tell me.
Answer my...
Never showed
Well,
me
you
the-
must have gotten the credit card receipts.
I did eventually get them.
How much was spent for parts? Didn't it say on your credit
They
card?
weren't separated. He had the cards with him, got a lift, thumbed a lift to get there.
Let
to
me see
where
the bills
there
from
was a
your credit.
Versatile.
Miss Davidson, let me see the bills from your credit card company.
They're itemized, and copied. And
No,
there are
just-
bills
just-
with
just- no, no,
his
no, no,
signature
no, no, no,
on
no.
the cards
Just a minute.
that he spent. Mostly it was for food and entertainment that I used my credit cards as well, because we were there 6 days.
How much did you spend altogether? And I'm not including the money for the restaurants in California.
Approximately around $1,000. He gave me $483 back in the U.S.
$739.71 is what you calculate for international charges. You say U.S. charges $130.
Plus the money spent in America. in
I'm
the
not
US.
talking about the money spent in America. Understand that. I'm taking off the dinners that you say. He said, don't worry, I'll pay you back. I'm not dealing with that. That's
Promise to
nonsense.
pay me back.
That's nonsense. So he owes, according to you, he still owes you $359. Okay. Now, Mr. Millard, tell me about this vacation that you took with Miss Davidson. Why did you invite her on this trip?
Of companionship with her, and also her daughter and her daughter's son. I enjoyed their company.
And did you have any discussion with her, as Miss Davidson says, you know, just bring yourself and a smile and a bathing suit?
Yes, what I told her is I would equip the motorhome with food, and I gassed it up $130, and propane and all that. And we never discussed beyond that. I brought $250 cash along for entertainment and food, in addition, if we didn't want to eat in the motorhome. So there was never really any discussion that I know of about I was going to pay for it all. I never intended to. I would never do that.
Well, I don't know whether you intended to or not, but let's get down to certain basics. This trip was originally intended to take 2 days. Is that right?
No, I mean, I would never drive it 100 miles and stay 2 days. It's 6 miles to the gallon for my motorhome.
How many days did you plan on being away, sir?
At least a week.
I don't believe you. I don't believe that, sir.
You don't believe it?
No. I don't believe that you planned on being away for a week.
Or more, sure.
No, no, no. I don't believe that you planned on being away for a week, sir.
Well, I did.
Never.
I would
No,
never
no, no.
drive. You know, that's the cost of the motorhome is gas. So
fine.
why drive it all over? You go
So
somewhere.
you paid for gas. Did you have enough food in your camper for a week?
Sure.
For a week?
Sure.
For 3 people?
Sure.
No, 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 no,
yes,
no,
yes,
no,
yes, yes.
no.
Oh,
No,
understand.
no.
Yes, of course.
No, no, no. And what happened to the camper? Because the camper broke down.
All right, now what happened is the fuel pump began
It
to
broke
fail.
down. I don't care what. It
Yes.
broke down. Don't explain it to me. I don't care
It
about
failed.
gaskets
It
and
broke
fuel
down.
pumps. It broke down.
Yes.
And how many days was it broken down?
3 days.
Right. And after it was finally fixed, did you go back home?
Yes.
Immediately. As soon as
within
it
a
was
day,
fixed.
I think.
And all during that time, those 3 days, you didn't have to buy anything else. Is that right? You had all
Well, what
the
happened
food
is,
and all the drink for these extra.
No, what happened
No.
is we started going out, you know, eating out and boozing it up. And
Well, if you went out eating and boozing it up, you weren't paying because you only had $250
yeah, I
in
ran
cash.
out of that.
And you ran out of that very fast, so you were using her credit cards.
Correct.
Did you use her credit card also to pay for the fuel pump?
All right, there was $60. I withdrew cash, I think around $100. The fuel pump was $40, and the repair bill, the mechanic, was $60.
I asked you whether you used her money for that, sir.
Yes.
Now, she's not part owner of your Winnebago.
No, of course not.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $359. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Your Honor, this is case number 25 on the calendar in the matter of Ramirez versus Garza.
Thanks, Bert.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Miss Ramirez, is it Ramirez?
Yes.
I'd like you to sit down, sir.
Thank you.
You and the defendant have 2 children together.
Yes.
Were you ever married?
No.
But you are now married to this gentleman.
Yes.
Your claim is that because of false charges that Mr. Garza filed against you, you were forced to incur substantial legal fees and debts. False charges with regard to child abuse. He filed those complaints with Child Protective Services. And you want him to reimburse you for all of the expenses that you incurred as a result of these false charges. Is that right?
Correct.
Mr. Garza says that he merely reported what he saw and what his children told him. Right now I'm going to need a time frame. When did you and Mr. Garza separate?
I believe it was in '99.
And how old are your 2 children?
6 and 4.
So they were really tiny. They were a year
Yes.
old and 3 years old.
About 3 years old.
When did you remarry?
December 16th of 2000.
And when was the first report of child abuse?
Back in 2000.
When in 2000?
In August of 2000.
All right, so let me go to Mr. Garza. Mr. Garza, when did you first make a complaint to Child Protective Services?
It was back in August 2000.
And what was the nature of that complaint?
Well, pretty much child abuse. My kids were talking about how their stepdad would, slap them or hit them or, in that nature. I have papers here from the Child Protective Services.
From August?
From May of 2001.
Well, let me take a look at it, please.
I also have police reports here and medical reports.
I see various letters. In some of the letters it says that they determined back in May of 2001 that the family, that is your family, does require our service at this time. I don't know whether they spoke to the children or not. So what you're telling me is in August, one of your children, probably the older one, was telling me that they were hit, but hit by the stepfather. And you reported that.
Yes.
What was the next report?
Well, after that, my youngest son, Isaiah, he came over and he went to the bathroom, and when he was urinating, he has a habit of he'll drop his pants down to his knees, and I noticed some bruises on his buttocks. And he had said that some ants had bit him. He was afraid to say it, so he had said that some ants had bit him. Finally, he came out and said that, that stepdad had, hit him with the black sandal, There was some bruises on there.
And did you make a report at that time?
Yes,
I
have
a report.
Medical reports from that, from the physician that saw him.
Can I see the report, please?
Yes.
Now you can stand up, Mr. Ramirez. Well, this second report was called in by the hospital, according to the doctor's notes, because the doctor found bruising noted to both buttocks on the child. Okay. Mr. Ramirez, did you, back sometime in 2001, hit one of the children, the older child, on the behind?
Isaiah, the smallest children, he was going through a lot of problems at daycare concerning when he would come back from his father's house. We tried disciplining him with timeouts, taking toys away from him, name it. It got to the point where we couldn't take it anymore. They didn't want him at the daycare. Took him home. I spoke to him. I spanked him. Next thing you know, I'm getting arrested because his father put charges on me. I got a paper here stating that...
No, I'm not finished yet. You spoke to him, and how old was he at the time?
He was three.
Three. So he was 3 years old.
The daycare was getting ready to kick him out because they didn't want him there anymore.
I'm speaking. He was 3 years old. So you spanked him.
Yeah.
With what?
With a belt, ma'am.
With a belt?
Yes, ma'am.
On his buttocks?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have to attend any classes, Mr. Ramirez, as a result of this investigation?
No, we had a homemaker come and give us parenting classes.
Well, that's parenting classes. So you had to have services as a result?
Yes, ma'am, but from an hour and a half classes, it dropped down to 20 hours because the homemaker found it wasn't necessary, that we didn't need those classes.
Well, you do need the classes. If you think that it's appropriate to beat a 3-year-old with a belt, causing bruises sufficient to be noted by a hospital, then you need a lot of parenting classes, more than an hour and a half. 3-year-old child who was going through a state of mother, father, new father, visiting one, there's a certain amount of acting out behavior. What you don't do is you don't use an instrument ever on a child, ever. You used a belt on a 3-year-old. That is unacceptable. Period. End of discussion. It's unacceptable.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Listen to me very carefully. Your husband just admitted he beat your 3-year-old with a belt. He abused him.
Spanked, not abused.
Beat. Abused. You should have taken the belt and wrapped it around his neck.
And later today...
Miss Jones, you were trying to get over on the system, madam.
No,
That's
I wasn't trying to get over on the system, Judge Judy, because when I called there, they told me, don't bring the ticket yourself or we're going to take the money.
I wish you had the name of that person who told you that. I think that you probably ought to sue them.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Veronica Ramirez says the father of her children, Eloy Garza, falsely accused her of child abuse. Eloy says Veronica's husband, Juan, hit his son.
Miss Ramirez, I don't have to go through this whole case anymore. I have just solved this whole case. You are suing for filing false charges against you. False charges of
Actually, the
abuse?
false charges and the custody hearing that we actually went through for the past 2 years.
Well, why do you think you would be entitled to legal fees from him for a custody hearing?
He sued me for custody of the children because of that incident.
Yes.
We went through about 2 years of a custody battle. It got to the point to where he decided he didn't want custody of the children anymore.
So?
He wanted me to agree not to move out of the city we were living in and he wouldn't fight for custody. He wanted a social study done. We had the social study done. The lady came to the house. She did interviews on both of us. She did interviews on the children. In the social study that I have with me, she states that he seems lovable with the children. The children are lovable with him. She didn't see any problems with the family together. She felt that the children should stay living with me.
So?
We went to court. He had moved to Corpus because he was living in Corpus already working. He was away from us about 3 months. He put temporary orders on us not to leave the county. The judge spoke to the children to see whether they felt safe enough to move out of town with me to Corpus with him, or if they wanted to stay in Harlingen with their biological father. The children stated to the judge that they wanted to leave to Corpus with us.
Let me explain something to you. I don't know who this judge was who interviews a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old to make a determination as to where they want to live. I never did that with a 4-year-old. Where would you like to live? With your mommy or with your daddy?
We also have him right here. He states that he has evidence that there was abuse.
There was abuse.
When?
Period. There was abuse. I'm finding right here that there was abuse. And you have no case to sue him for filing false allegations of abuse. Your husband abused your 3-year-old. You should have taken the belt and wrapped it around his neck. That's what you should have done. And I don't know what other issues the defendant has with you. However, any father who would not at that point fight for custody would be neglectful. So he had an absolute obligation to file for custody of his 2 children. And then the thing dragged along for 2 years because this judge had to wait until the kids were 4 and 6 in order to interview them.
No, it didn't drag on that long. It dragged on that long because he kept putting it off.
Maybe. But I don't care what the social worker said. I want to tell you something. I don't care what the social worker said. It is irrelevant to me. The mother's husband beat the children, but the children seem happy and safe with the mother. Father never beat the children, so we think that the children should stay. We think the children should stay with the mother. I mean, I don't understand a report like that. In any event, I'm not having to decide that case now. All I have to decide is whether or not he should be responsible for the cost of all of your legal fees as a result of fighting both his custody case and the case that he filed and the orders that he requested, preventing you from moving out of the jurisdiction, relocating.
I also have a letter here from the police department where they took the children to the police department, and the police even put in here where they were trying to bribe the children to tell the police that they were being slapped.
Listen to me very carefully. Your husband just admitted he beat your 3-year-old with a belt. What do I care about the police report? Your husband looked at me. I asked him a question. He answered my question. He beat your 3-year-old with a belt. He abused him.
I spanked him, not abused him.
Beat. Abused. 3-year-old, belt, abuse. That's it. Marks from a belt on a 3-year-old is abuse. That's not neglectful. That's not neglectful. Neglectful is if you don't give him a hot lunch. Neglectful is not when you beat a 3-year-old with an instrument. So you are not entitled to the return of any of your legal fees matter.
In the Penal Code, Section 961 states that the state declines prosecution in this case. The defendant is allowed to use forceful to reasonably discipline a child under Section 9.61 of the Penal Code, and there is insufficient evidence to show any other intent by the defendant. That's
I hope you feel better. If you appeared before me and you said to me, I lost my temper once, and I hit him with a belt.
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Wait, that's not what you're saying.
No, you asked me.
No. I lost my temper once, and I hit him with a belt, and it will never happen again because that's not me. I know that's not the way you're supposed to discipline children. But what you just read to me, sir, was an indication that you believe that this is an appropriate way of disciplining children.
No, it's not, ma'am.
It better not be.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today...
Let me tell you something. You're not going to get the money from him.
Why? He signed me a promissory note stating...
I don't care if he signed you the Declaration of Independence. Courts do not help you when you try to scam the system.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Veronica Ramirez says the father of her children, Eloy Garza, falsely accused her of child abuse. Eloy says Veronica's husband, Juan, hit his son.
Ms. Ramirez, you have no case. The defendant did exactly what he should have done as a father by reporting what he saw. He did exactly what he should have done as a father by fighting for custody. He did exactly what he should have done by trying to prevent you from leaving the jurisdiction and relocating. And if he lost on all those counts, that's very unfortunate, but he had not only the right, but the obligation to do it. Your case is dismissed, that's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I don't think it went right.
Worked out good, I guess.
His false police reports, taking the children to the police department, filing false reports. I have all of that documented, all the false reports that he made.
Nothing else better to do, I guess.
I even have the reports where the police say that they were trying to bribe the children by telling them they would give them things if they said this.
As soon as I saw, bruises going on, I knew I had to get in and do something.
My children see him as their father.
They're little, 3 and 5,
So that shows what type of biological father their father really is.
He's never around.
No, I've been involved with their lives all the time.
I might have used excessive force, which I regret doing it.
Let the real parents do the discipline, not the step parents.
Be careful who you get involved with.
Go back to my country club and eat a po' boy sandwich.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Jones versus Carini, step forward, please.
Sarah Jones is suing her former friend, 24-year-old student Thomas Carini, for half the value of a lottery ticket. Sarah claims when Thomas cashed her winning ticket, the state took half.
You're going to love this case.
I saw some of the notes. I think so.
You're going to love this case. Miss Jones, you had a winning lottery ticket.
Yes.
For some reason that you will explain to me in a moment, you didn't want to cash the ticket yourself, and you asked the defendant, who you knew, if he would cash the ticket for you. The lottery ticket was for $2,500. He cashed the ticket, and the state took $1,250, or half of the proceeds, for some reason.
Right.
Not the defendant. You understand the defendant didn't take the $1,200, and he gave you the $1,250. Is that right?
Correct.
And you want him to pay you the $1,250 that the state took from your lottery ticket. Is that right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So let's go and start back. When did you have this winning lottery ticket?
April 23rd.
Of what year?
2002.
And how did you find out that you had the winning lottery ticket?
I watched the New York State Lottery when the numbers came out.
Okay, and what lottery was it?
The Win-4.
Okay, and you knew how much the ticket was worth?
Yes.
How did you find out how much the ticket was worth?
I called the New York State Lottery Department, and I also went online, and they tell you how much it's worth when you go online for how much you played for.
Are you employed?
No.
How do you support yourself?
I'm on workman's compensation.
How long have you been on workman's compensation?
For about 8 years.
What's the nature of your disability?
I have bulging discs in my back, and I had surgery on my left knee twice.
When was the last time you had a surgery?
About 3 years ago.
Do you live alone?
No, I live with my husband and my 3 boys.
How old are your 3 boys?
16, 12, and 10.
And what kind of work does your husband do?
Mason work, concrete.
Now, you want to tell me, Miss Jones, why you didn't go in to cash this lottery ticket yourself?
Yes, there are 2 reasons why I didn't. The first is because I didn't have my license. I couldn't find my license, so I had...
Didn't have your what license?
My driver's license. I couldn't find them. When I did find them, they were in my husband's truck, but at the time when I wanted to cash the ticket...
What date did you want to cash the ticket?
On Monday, the next day that the lottery office was open. You have to take the ticket to the New York State Lottery office.
No, I understand that. So when you found out you had won, did you tell your husband?
Yes, I did tell my husband. My husband was watching it with me when I saw it when the number came out.
And if your husband does masonry work, then he has a driver's license.
He also had to work.
There's nothing in the New York State Lottery rules that require you cash the ticket the next day. Is that right?
No, there isn't, but I needed the money.
You have a year to cash the ticket.
Well, I didn't have a year to get my money. I needed my money before I even won it. I had shut-off notices from everywhere. I had to pay bills. I wasn't going to wait a year.
Okay, so first you didn't have a driver's license. What's your next reason for not cashing the ticket yourself?
Is because my name is in the system also.
In what system?
Medicaid helped pay for my surgery.
In what system?
Whatever system this is where they take your money.
All right, so what you're telling me is that you knew, don't give me the baloney about a driver's license, you
Well,
knew...
that was the deal.
You knew,
believe it or not,
that if you went to cash this lottery ticket,
because
Medicaid had paid for your surgery, they were going to take some of the money.
Yes, New York State Lottery office told me that when I called them.
Oh, good. And how much were they going to take?
The same amount that they took for Tommy, $1,250.
Then what are we doing here, madam?
I want my money back. I'm not going to pay his bill.
You explain to me.
If they're going to take my money, let them take it for my bill, not for somebody else's bill.
You don't even have to say anything. I assume you owe the state money for something, is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, for what?
Actually, I was never sent the bill. I really am not exactly sure what they billed me for or if I owed the money. But in the past, I have been in rehabilitation at one point in time, as well as I've been on workman's comp at one point in time.
Whatever. You owed the state money just like she did.
Yes.
Right?
Correct.
Did you know that they were going to attach some of this money?
No, I did not.
I assume you didn't.
But I asked him to give them a call like I did. And he called me back and he told me that he called them. And they told him he didn't owe anybody anything, there was no problem. So we went there.
Somebody made a mistake? Miss Jones, you were trying to get over on the system, madam.
No,
That's
I
what
wasn't
happened.
trying to get over on the system, Judge Judy, because when I called there, they told me, your Social Security number is in the computer. If you bring the ticket, we're going to have to take some of it. So your best bet is to find a family member or friend to help you. Don't bring the ticket yourself or we're going to take the money. So that's what I did.
I wish you had the name of that person who told you that.
I wish I did too. I would have gave it to you.
I think that you probably ought to sue them.
If I could, I would.
They gave you very bad advice, Miss Jones.
If I could, I would, to get my money back.
Let me tell you something. You're not going to get the money from him.
Well, why? He signed me a promissory note stating
I
that
don't care if he
me.
signed you the Declaration of Independence. You're not getting a penny. You tried to scam the system.
I
It
wasn't
backfired
trying
on
to
you.
scam anybody.
Courts do not help you when you try to scam the system.
I
Your
wasn't
case
trying to
is dismissed.
scam anybody.
Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Now, this is case number 66 on the calendar in the matter of Townsend versus Johnson-Jones. You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Miss Townsend, you own a car.
Yes.
And your car was parked in front of your house.
Yes, ma'am.
You didn't see what happened, but all you know is somebody hit your car.
Yes, ma'am. That's correct.
And one of these two people were driving that car that hit your car.
Yes, ma'am.
When did this happen?
October 19th, about between 6 and 7.
Tell me where you were.
I was inside my house and I heard this big crash. I got up, went to the door. By the time I made it to the door, two of my neighbors were at my door saying, someone has just hit your car, you need to come outside. So I went outside, looked at my car, and it was smashed in on the front and just stuff all over the place. So I looked
You mean debris?
Debris,
Car
that's
debris.
right, that's right, debris. Was on the street and on my yard. But the second car wasn't anywhere around. So I went back in, called the police, went back out to look at my car again, and we seen debris going around the street.
So you followed the debris?
We followed debris around the street to another car, which was probably about, it was the next block. The next block, that car was there. It was all smashed in. It was not able to go any further.
Did you see anyone around that car?
I seen Miss Johnson and her baby. Her baby was in
This
the back
lady?
seat. Yes, ma'am. Her baby was in the back seat. She was standing on the outside. She was crying. She was all upset. She got her.
There was a baby in the car?
Yes,
in her
ma'am.
car.
The baby was in the back seat. She got the baby, put it in a restraint.
Also in the seat? In the car?
In the car. Not in the restraint, in the car, on the back seat. She took the baby out of the back seat, put it in the restraint, and she, in the little baby car seat, she set it on the street. And I forgot, someone said, you need to get that baby out the street. So she got the baby out the street, and by that time the police come. When the police come, Mr. Dennis...
This gentleman here?
Yes, this man here and his mother come up.
Now, he wasn't there when you first got to the scene?
No, he was not there.
Okay.
Okay, he was not there. He and his mother come up. The police officer was talking to Miss Johnson first. She was all upset. She was crying. When Dennis come up, the police officer was asking them, why did he leave? And he was saying that her father was trying to kill him. He had wrapped the seatbelt around his neck, and they were fighting. He was trying to get away from him, which made him put his foot on the gas and run into my car.
Okay. And that's all you know about this?
And that's all I know.
Okay.
So, well, there's one more thing. Dennis said that he would pay for my car. They said they would pay for it. They were sorry about it, but they never have. She has insurance on the car, but the insurance refused to pay for it because she was not the driver. He was, and he doesn't have any license. So that's why we're here today. I feel like they need to pay for my car.
Who wants to talk first?
I will.
Go ahead.
Okay, first of all, I was standing in the front yard. My dad chased him down the street and grabbed
Chased who down the street?
him. He was driving.
Is he your boyfriend?
Yes, ma'am.
Is he the father of this baby?
Yes, ma'am.
That was in the back seat of the car?
Yes. And the baby was in a restraint, but by the time she had gotten there, I had gotten the baby out of the car and was sitting in the back seat holding the baby. And then when the police were starting to
All right,
arrive,
let's
I
start
put the
from the
baby.
beginning. Your father is chasing him.
Yeah.
Chasing him from where?
From my house.
Where was the baby when your father was chasing him?
In the back seat of the car.
What was the baby doing in the car?
Because me and him and the baby were fixed to leave, but I went in the house, and when I come back out, my dad had started chasing him, and Dennis was leaving to try to get away from him.
Okay, you were planning to leave the house?
Yes.
Where was the car parked?
In the street in front of the house.
Who brought the baby outside?
We had just come to the house. We had been off, and we were going to go back off, but I was stopping at the house to get something, so I had just had
So
her
the
in
two of
car
you
with
had
me.
just driven to your father's house?
Yes.
From where?
I believe we were at the movies.
You went to the movies with a baby? How old's your baby?
She's 17 months.
So you don't remember where you were coming from?
No, ma'am. A lot of stuff happened that night.
No. Now, you were just stopping off at your father's to get something?
Yes.
The baby is in the back seat of the car?
In a car seat.
I hear you. The baby is in the back seat of the car?
Yes, ma'am.
Who got out of the car first?
I did.
From what side of the car?
The passenger side.
So Mr. Jones was driving the car?
Yes, ma'am.
I never got...
I didn't speak to you yet. And the car is registered in your name?
Yes, ma'am.
You live with Mr. Jones?
No, ma'am.
Where do you live?
At my parents' house.
And where does he live?
At his mom's house.
Does Mr. Jones have a valid driver's license?
No, ma'am.
No. So why were you letting him drive your car?
He bought it.
Why doesn't he have a driver's license? If he has enough money to buy a car, why doesn't he have enough sense to get a driver's license so that he can drive it?
I don't know. I don't...
Has he been arrested?
No, ma'am.
Has a DUI?
No, ma'am.
He owes child support?
No, ma'am.
Then why don't you have a driver's license?
I don't know, ma'am.
What do you mean you don't know? Did you ever have a driver's license?
No, ma'am.
What do you do for a living?
Heating and cooling.
Heating and cooling.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that where you made your money from to buy this car?
Yes, ma'am.
You work for somebody else?
Yes, ma'am.
When was the last time you filed tax returns? Look at me. When was the last year you filed tax returns?
Probably 99, 2000.
Don't you think you live in a country that has rules and regulations? Now, how would I know to ask you that question? Because somebody that's stupid enough not to have a driver's license and drive a car is also dumb enough to work and not pay taxes. And I say that to you, sir, because of the defense that you registered in your answer, which I find fascinating. I'm going to get to the thrust of this story a little quicker. You went inside, your father started to have an argument with the two of you, or just with him?
Him.
About what?
A statement that Dennis had made that he said was false.
You mean that since your father was doing something wrong?
Yeah.
All right. So they had an argument?
Yes.
And then Dennis did what? Did he run out of the house?
He wasn't in the house. He was outside.
Still in the driver's seat of the car?
Yeah.
So your father ran out and grabbed him?
I wasn't outside at the time. That
Oh,
it
now
all started.
Dennis is going to tell me. So what happened, Dennis?
She went in the house, he come out, and he started fussing on me and stuff. So I crunked the car up, put it in gear. About the time I put it in gear, he was right here at my windows finna hit me. But I give it a little gas, and he grabbed my seat belt. And I looked down, when I, was going down the road, he was running right beside me. When I looked down to grab the seat belt off my neck, because he was pulling it tight on me. And when I looked down, boom, I hit her car, which her car was like 3 foot away from the curb and illegally parked.
That's his defense, Byrd. His defense is he's not responsible because her car was parked the wrong way on the street.
Oh,
That's
that's
his
good.
defense.
That's good.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
How can you dare to say that this accident occurred because her car, which was stationary, that, you know what that means? That means standing still, not moving.
And later today,
He said that he had gotten himself arrested for a mistaken identity, is what he told me.
He got himself arrested for a mistaken identity? I didn't know the last time I looked in the penal law that that was a crime.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Janice Townsend claims Leanne Johnson and her boyfriend, Dennis Jones, hit her parked car and fled the scene. Dennis says Leanne's angry father was chasing him when he lost control of his vehicle.
How can you dare to say that this accident occurred because her car, which was stationary, that, you know what that means? That means standing still, not moving. And you, who don't have a driver's license, who's not allowed to be behind the wheel, is not responsible. You want to explain that to me? If you weren't doing the wrong thing and driving a car, this wouldn't have happened.
That's true.
That's true. Oh, you have a picture of the damage to the car, please? This is not a new car, right?
That's right.
But you're entitled to have your car in the same condition as it was before
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Wonderful over here hit it.
Yes, ma'am.
So even though it's expensive to put your car back into condition, you're entitled to it. How long have you been working at this heating and cooling company?
For about a year.
You paid in check or cash?
Cash.
Cash. Well, you better start saving your cash. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,692.05. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I was thoroughly shocked.
Yeah, I feel bad that it happened.
My car was sitting in front of the house.
I'm sorry we can't get along with her now.
Minded its own business. When they were fighting, they hit my car.
Don't be driving.
Justice.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Gomez versus Todd. Step forward, please.
Homemaker Bonnie Gomez is suing her daughter's ex-boyfriend, 21-year-old appliance salesman A.D. Todd, for an unpaid loan for bail. A.D. says he never asked Bonnie for help.
Mrs. Gomez, the defendant was dating your daughter. She was 17 at the time, and according to your complaint, he got himself arrested, called you, begged you to bail him out of jail. You did. It was a loan, and he hasn't paid you back.
That's correct.
When did he call you and tell you that he had been arrested?
He called me on June 20th, about 10 p.m.
And what did he say to you?
He said that he had gotten himself arrested for a mistaken identity, is what he told me.
He got himself arrested for a mistaken identity?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know the last time I looked in the penal law that was a crime.
Yeah, I didn't either. So he asked if I could bail him out, and his words were, "Miss Bonnie, please, I can't stand it here. Please bail me out."
Your Honor, she's lying.
Did I ask you anything yet?
No, ma'am.
So I asked him how the bond system worked, because I'm not familiar with how jail and stuff works, and he says, well, if you put up the bond, you get the money back. So I spoke to somebody at the bond company, and they said the way it works is that they put up a big bond for him, I pay some, but I don't get it back. They get their money back if he shows up to court. And so I hesitated, and they said, well, we have 2 other bonds out on him, so he's a good risk, he will go to court. And I said, well, let me think about it. And he
Did you know at the time that he had been arrested at least twice before?
No, I did not.
What was he arrested for this time?
Well, what he told me originally was that it was mistaken identity, and after I bailed him out, he told me that his girlfriend, the mother of his baby, had said that he had beat her up. Come to find out later on, when I went to get a copy of what he was arrested for, he was arrested for possession with intent to distribute and criminal impersonation.
Drugs?
Drugs, yeah. And I supposedly, from what I understand, impersonating a police officer.
Okay. So you posted his bond?
Yes.
$1,500?
Right.
Did you ever get it back?
No.
Did you ask him for it back?
When I bailed him out of jail that night, I said to him on the telephone before I went to the jail, I said, you know, I need this money back. I'm a single mom raising 5 kids. You know, my health hasn't been very good for a few years. I haven't been able to work. What I have is in my savings, and that's what I'm supporting my kids with. And he says, Miss Bonnie, I have the money. I just have to go get it. As soon as I get you, you know, you come and get me out of jail, we'll go get the money. I said, okay, fine. And I said, would you sign an IOU? And he said, yes, I will. He says, I'll sign whatever. You want to put interest on there, whatever, I'll sign it. So went ahead, went over to the jail, signed him out of jail, wrote a check out for what it cost to get him out, the $1,500. It was about probably 2 to 3 o'clock in the morning at this point. And he says, you know, Miss Bonnie, it's a little late, you know, to go over to my friend's house, so let's just wait till the daytime. And I said, that's fine, you know, because I was pretty tired as well. And come the next morning, you know, a few hours later, I made him sign an IOU, which I can't find now, it disappeared. And he left and haven't seen him since.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Bonnie Gomez says her daughter's ex-boyfriend, A.D. Todd, owes for an unpaid loan for bail. A.D. says he never asked Bonnie for help.
Where were you arrested, sir?
At the apartment that I stayed at.
What were you arrested for?
Possession.
Possession of what?
Marijuana.
That was at least the 3rd arrest that we know about, because you'd been bonded twice before. What were your prior arrests?
Harassment and driving without a license.
You don't get arrested for driving without a license or
Well, in
bonded.
Colorado, if you ain't got your license and insurance, you do go to jail.
Uh-huh.
Okay, but anyways, Your Honor, when I went to jail, I called Mrs. Gomez's daughter. I asked her would she go and tell my mom to get me out of jail. She said, all right. That's the last time I ever called her house. 2.5, 3 hours later, there was somebody bailing me out. They told me to pack my stuff. You know, I got out. You know, Erica was sitting there, and I didn't know who Miss Gomez was at the time because I never met her. So I signed the bail bondsman papers. Miss Gomez leaves out with us. And we gets to her house, you know, because I stayed like 2-3 blocks away. You know, and I'm talking to her. You know, next thing you know, I goes home that night, and I comes back the next day. And she tells me, well, Mr. Todd, you know that you're going to owe me $1,500 for getting me out. I'm like, you know, shocked. I didn't think I owed her anything. I mean, I didn't ask her to bail me out of jail. She did on her own. I mean, if her daughter did, then that's on them. That's not on me. But I was dating her daughter at the time, you know, and I guess I picked up responsibility and said, okay. You know, so like 2, maybe 3 days later, I had like a really bad necklace, you know.
Like a really bad necklace? What was wrong with it?
No, I mean, I had like, I had
cheap.
a nice, really expensive necklace. It was Pegasus. It was about yay big. And
Probably cost $2 at a flea market.
yeah, it had like 2.5 carats worth of Marquise and Big Ed diamonds in it. I mean, it wasn't like Cuban zirconia. It was retail price of like $15,000. And I gives it to the plaintiff's daughter, and I haven't seen it since then. You know, I never called the house again, and Ms. Gomez never said that I owe her any money. She never brought the subject up to me. You know, everything was all right from what I knew. I say about a month and a half later, me and her daughter still talking. You know, I comes back from the store. It was me and my little brother and my baby's mom. And we gets out of the car, and this white car pulls up. Miss Gomez is in the passenger seat. Then a bunch of little Mexicans get out the car and try to beat me up. You know, taking off their shirts, saying, what's up, Holmes, you know, is this him, is this him? I hear a lady in the background saying, yeah, that's him. You know, so they run up to me, and I'm taking off my jewelry so I can, honestly.
You wouldn't mind showing me that jewelry, would you, sir?
No.
Could I see it up here, please, Byrd? Would you get that for me?
You want to see what's on my neck, too?
No, that's what you're going to give Byrd is sufficient. Keep talking, Mr. Todd.
Okay.
I'm fascinated.
Okay. But anyways.
No, really, really.
Okay.
No, I don't know. Please don't laugh. I'm fascinated.
Okay, but after the little essays run up on me and try to beat me up, you know, my little brother goes in the house and gets my mom. You know, she gets out of the car. My mom says, you know, what's going on? My mom didn't even know who these people were. Miss Chintez get out of the car, and she's like, well, your son owes me $1,500. I'm just looking like, I don't owe you a thing, you know. Never once did I get told that I owe you any money. You know, so after that, you know, I never seen Mrs. Gomez again. You know, after I gave her the necklace, it was like, I guess everything was okay.
So what you're saying is you gave her daughter the necklace to pay off this debt? Is
Yeah,
that what
she
you're
could have
telling
took it to any pawn shop.
Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Todd, usually when you go to court, you get all dressed up?
Yes, ma'am.
Put on your finest, right?
No. It's not my finest.
You have better.
Yes.
Really? Have better clothes?
Yes.
Have better jewelry?
Yes.
Where's your better jewelry?
This is like from way back, before I even moved to Colorado.
I'm talking about this jewelry.
All this stuff is old. I had this stuff for a long time.
Because one would think if you were wearing all this flashy junk that that this would be your best stuff.
No.
Right? No, the best stuff you gave away to her daughter. The one with
It was one of the best.
The $15,000
Yes, ma'am.
piece.
It was one of the best.
Wasn't any junk like this. Wasn't any
No,
glass like this, you
No,
know,
ma'am.
in whatever kind of metal this is.
All right.
Right?
Right.
It was a really good one. Gold
ma'am.
and diamonds and
Yes, ma'am.
and well-cut stones that was worth $15,000. Where did you get $15,000 from?
फुट20 वाला लड़का फुट20 वाला लड़का फुट20 वाला लड़का मैं फुट20 वाला लड़का फुट20 वाला लड़का फुट20 वाला लड़का फुट20 वाला लड़का मैं फुट20 वाला लड़का
She's nice enough to come at 2 o'clock in the morning, leave her 5 children to come and pick you up, and you're doing the dance?
बॉलीवुड का राजा मैं सल्लू, साउथ का हीरो मैं अल्लू, दिखता हूँ मैं थोड़ा कल्लू, पर तेरे जैसा नहीं मैं लल्लू। ये नंदू साले टॉप लेवल का डंडू, फटफट तेरा बजाऊंगा मंडू, नीचे से पानी निकालेगा चंदू, गिर गया ना कैसे खड़ा होगा टंडू। आपा को बोल मेरा शादी है कल, एक साथ में पियेंगे बंगला माल, तू पहन के आएगा लुंगी और बॉडी में सैंडो गेंजी, जब बजाऊंगा ना तेरा पुंगी दर कभी नहीं गड़ेगा उंगली। साला दिन रात भर खाली पिसता है गंजा, मैं हूँ तेरा बॉस और तू है मेरा चमचा, लड़की में हंस के बुलाती है चच्चा, ढोल मत कर मैं घुड़ी का मंजा। 420 वाला लड़का, 420 वाला लड़का, 420 वाला लड़का, मैं 420 वाला लड़का, 420 वाला लड़का, 420 वाला लड़का, 420 वाला लड़का, मैं 420 वाला लड़का, 420 वाला लड़का। मैं लड़की पे नहीं मरता, दिखता हूँ जैसे गुंडा, मैं फेंकता हूँ काली पक्का, दिन में हम दारू पीता, रात में हम पार्टी करता, फ्रॉम सैटरडे टू संडे में रहता हूँ नॉटी बंदा, मेरा किसी से ना कोई धंधा, दिमाग को रखता मैं ठंडा, कोई काटी करता है ना तो फिर बन जाता मैं बैड मुंडा। चेंज वाला सा तू देखते रहेगा, मैं करते रहूंगा, तू सोचते रहेगा। चेंज वाला सा तू देखते रहेगा, मैं करते रहूंगा, तू सोचते रहेगा। सिंचन वाला का तू देखते रहेगा, मैं करते रहूंगा, तू सोचते रहेगा, मैं करते रहूंगा, तू जलते रहेगा, मैं चलते रहूंगा, तू ढलते रहेगा। एरिया का मैं उड़ान नंबर 1, कभी बनते पठान कभी बनते जवान, पूरे एरिया का मैं उड़ान नंबर 1, कभी पठान बनते कभी बनते जवान। 420 वाला लड़का, 420 वाला लड़का, 420 वाला लड़का, मैं 420 वाला लड़का, 420 वाला लड़का, 420 वाला लड़का, 420 वाला लड़का, मैं 420 वाला लड़का, 420 वाला लड़का, 420 वाला लड़का, 420 वाला लड़का, मैं 420 वाला लड़का, 420 वाला लड़का, 420 वाला लड़का, 420 वाला लड़का, मैं 420 वाला लड़का।
I said, where did she hit you? And he replied, in my head. And I said, well, what for? And he said, because I would not pick up poop with my hand.
Now, when did you discuss this with the child's father?
I had discussed it with David, and he said that it did
On
not
the
happen.
17th?
No, the next day.
On the
called.
18th of October?
Right.
Okay.
And I told him that Brennan had told me that Jennifer had hit him.
And he said it didn't happen?
Yes.
When did you go over to her house?
I went over to her house on the 18th.
And who did you go over with?
I went over with my friend. I was upset because, you know, she had hit Brendan. So I went over there to discuss it. I walked up her driveway. She met me in her carport. And I said to her, Jennifer, Brendan told me that you had hit him. And she started saying that I was crazy and that the reason Brendan acted the way he did was because of me. And after that, her and had words.
Why would you get involved in this at all?
Because when she started saying that I was crazy, stepped forward and started defending me.
And then what happened?
I was ready to go. And when we were going out to my truck, as soon as we got to my truck, I looked up and she was saying, come, if you want a piece of me, come, you know, she was doing this. She was, come on, get a piece of me. That's what she was yelling at me. And we got in my truck and we left. And we went straight to the Brighton police station where I tried to press charges against her for hitting Brendan, but was unable to because Brendan was not in my physical custody at the time.
When were you notified by the police that you were the subject of an arrest warrant?
A month later, day before Thanksgiving, I was on the phone with my mother, and my ex-husband got a hold of my mother and told her that I had a warrant for my arrest. And how he knew, I don't know. And so I called my lawyer immediately after that and told my lawyer that I had a warrant for my arrest.
Okay. Now, you subsequently went to trial, is that right?
Yes, I did.
The defendant testified at the trial?
Yes, she did.
And did you testify?
Yes.
And was there a jury trial?
Yes, there was.
And the jury came back with a not guilty verdict?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Now, Ms. Harrison, I would like you to tell me your version of the events, please.
Okay. On October 18th, Katie did come to my home. The incident that she is referring to, that Brendan was referring to, actually happened in June of that year, where he had stepped in dog poop out in the yard and walked into the house, and the kids are supposed to take their shoes off. And he didn't take his shoes off, and he had got dog poop on the carpet. And instead of telling the kids that they did something stupid, or I don't say that, we go, duh, what'd you do that for? And then he usually goes, yeah, duh, yeah, I did that. And that was the incident. She comes to my place in October, which is 5-6 months later, and accuses me of hitting her son and started cussing and swearing at me, telling me who did I think I was by hitting her son, and that they were going to kick my if I ever touched her son again. I said, do you want to hear this story or not? I said, I'll tell you what happened. No, I believe my son. You hit my son, and this other girl was MFing me just as much as she was, just screaming at me. And she has a background and a stability of many mental health problems. She's been in many mental health facilities, and I know what she's capable of. That's why I stood in my doorway and never even went out into the carport with them. I just had the door open trying to tell them to leave. And they would not leave. They kept calling me every name in the book, told me if I went out at nighttime, don't go out at nighttime because I would never come back home, that they were going to kill me if I ever touched her son again. I told her she was crazy. I told her to leave my property many times. At that point in time, the other girl starts with they said they were going to kick my ass, and I said, you in what army? The two of us will take you down right now. And I said, both of you just leave. That's when she kicked cabinets that were there that my husband had brought home from work, and she picked up one of my lawn chairs and threw it at me. And I shut the door because I told her I was going to call the police. Well, that's when I started walking up into my kitchen, and I heard a big bang. And I saw my neighbor girl a minute later walking across my yard, and I had gone outside, and she said, what was that? What's going on? And she
Is
had
this your
seen,
neighbor?
Yes. And she had seen Katie and the other girl go into their car. She had heard the noises. And between the time that they went to the police station, they went by my house 4 different times, screaming,
Well, what
F
kind
you.
of damage did she do in your
There was
house?
a great big dent. It looks like they punched the car. There was a great big dent on the side of my right passenger door.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She stood up in court and told the judge, I want a paternity test taken on my oldest son because he's not even the father.
And was that done?
Yes, and unbeknownst to the father, he was not the child's father. And the courts gave her custody of him.
And later today,
All right, this is going to be very fast. The defendant, who was a former boyfriend, smashed your cell phone. Yes. Good. Give me a bill. On the flip side, your counterclaim is, just let me get there, sir. I mean, I have other things to do today.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Kathy McHale says when former babysitter Jennifer Harrison slapped her son, she attempted to confront her. Kathy says upon leaving, Jennifer told police she vandalized her car.
Oh. Tell me your name, please.
Donnella Snyder.
Ms. Snyder, did you witness any of these events?
I witnessed the loud noise.
Tell me what you heard.
There's a house in between us, and I just heard this big boom. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I just went out my door, and it sounded like it came from Jennifer's house. So I instantly started walking over there, and as I was walking over there, Katie was hurrying up and getting in a truck that was waiting there, which there was a driver, and they hurried up and sped off and took off. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I went over there, and I said, Jennifer, what's wrong? And she was shaking and upset, and she had the phone in her hand, and her furniture, lawn furniture, was all tousled around. And then she started telling me what was going on.
Okay. Ms. McCahill, did you touch any of the defendant's lawn furniture?
No, I didn't touch anything.
Just a second. Did you touch any of her furniture?
I did. I didn't.
Did she throw it around?
She threw a chair between me and her.
Okay.
That was it.
All right. Ms. McCahill, I'm going to give you a couple of short lessons.
Okay.
You brought there for the purposes of being your support, so you are responsible for her actions.
Yes, I am.
Well, I'm glad you agree with that. So if she caused any damage and it wasn't you, it's just as if you caused the damage, because you brought her there. You brought her there to do exactly what she did, which was to make trouble. And I don't believe that you just walked into the defendant's house and said to her, why did you hit my son? I don't believe you said it that way.
Okay.
I believe that there was a lot of vile language, and I believe that there was a lot of screaming and yelling, and you had no right being there. There were children there, And there are ways to deal with this kind of a problem without this kind of confrontation. You deal with it. If you can't file a police report, which I don't understand, then you call Child Protective Services.
I did.
And I assume that as a result of calling Child Protective Services, there were no charges filed. Is that right?
I tried to file charges against her. They wouldn't let me because Brendan was not in my custody.
That's not what I said. Child
Right.
Protective Services doesn't care
I went
in
to
whose
Family
custody.
Services, and they investigated.
And found what? Do you
I
have the report?
evidence to that,
Can I
yes.
see it, please?
This is the police report that I did make at the Sheriff's Department after this happened. Here, also. And this is, she did call 2 months later, in December. She called DCFS complaining about me hitting and abusing her son. And DCFS did interview her and her son and found all of their statements to be uncreditable, and they dropped all of the allegations against me. And under the circumstances with her son, who has quite a lot of mental problems also, since the child's been back in her custody, he's tried to commit suicide.
When did the child go back into her custody?
Her attorneys and his attorneys, they were in court, and both attorneys advised her to just drop the child custody suit because the children were better off left with the father. They both have another son together. She stood up in court and told the judge, well, then I want a paternity test taken on my oldest son because he's not even the father.
And was that done?
Yes, it was, and unfortunately, and unbeknownst to the father, he was not the child's father. And the courts gave her custody of him.
Court had no other choice.
Unfortunately for his sake.
That child was 8 at the time that he found?
7.
7. He found out that his father was not his father.
Right, and tore away from his brother. He was told that when he dropped him off for a weekend visit with her the next time that he only picked up Patrick and left Brendan there.
Do you think you caused enough trouble? Don't you think you caused enough trouble? Madam! I wouldn't come to court to cause any more trouble in any event. I'm going to handle this case very, very swiftly. The district attorney chose to prosecute this case. Clearly, the judge who heard the case had the opportunity at the end of the people's case, if they felt that there was no evidence against you, to dismiss the case on an initial motion that says there is not even sufficient evidence to go forward. The judge found that there was sufficient evidence to go forward and have you present your case. So the case ultimately went to trial. The jury did not find you innocent of the charges. I want you to clearly understand that.
I have the papers right here.
No. The jury did not find you innocent, Miss McCahill. The jury found you not guilty. There is a difference. Innocent means you didn't do it. Not guilty means not proven beyond a reasonable doubt. That is a serious difference.
Can I ask a question?
All right.
If I was to hit a dent in the van, don't you think it would have broke my hand?
I have no idea. Maybe you used your foot.
I did not.
In any event, you trespassed on her property. You threw around her lawn furniture. You touched her property because either you or your friend did it. But since you brought your friend, you're both equally as culpable. So that she had an absolute right to pursue her legal remedy. I haven't gotten to her counterclaim yet.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today.
This is a bill from May 25th of 2000. So this was the bill for these 2 shirts. Yeah. You keep these bills?
Yeah, got to. Never know when this gonna happen.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Kathy McCahill says when former babysitter Jennifer Harrison slapped her son, she attempted to confront her. Kathy says upon leaving, Jennifer told police she vandalized her car.
Okay. You want to continue with this counterclaim?
Yes, just for the damages done to my van.
I'd like to see photographs of it. So you have no case, Miss McCahill?
I don't have photographs. The district attorney just asked me to get an estimate for the
damages.
damages.
Well, I can't do anything without photographs. I have to make a judgment based upon the photograph. Physical evidence, not just an estimate.
I just have the estimate and the repair bill that they repaired it.
She denies that she hit your car. In order for me to make any judgments as to whether or not this car was dented under what circumstances, I have to be able to look at it. That requires a photograph. So I'm not entertaining your counterclaim, which you would not have filed anyway, but for the fact that she filed this claim, which is nonsense. And I certainly hope that you and your son are getting as much therapy as you can for all the damage that you did. And I would keep a low profile if I were you, Miss McCahill. Don't file any more frivolous lawsuits. Your case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
So I just wish she would just leave me alone. I'm not going to have any contact with this person. Stay away from me. She had no business ever being around me. I have no wish to have any contact with this person. I just feel terrible for what the boy is going through. Brendan is doing really well. He's an honor roll student. Really glad that the judge did take him out of the courtroom because I didn't want to have to say what I had to say in front of him.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Vaughn versus Jackson. Step forward, please.
Cosmetology student Tanya Vaughn is suing her ex-boyfriend, cook Carver Jackson, for breaking her cell phone during an argument. Carver is countersuing, claiming Tanya threw his laundry in the dumpster.
All right, this is going to be very fast. Ms. Vaughn, according to your complaint, the defendant, who was a former boyfriend of yours, got into a snit about something, which I'm totally disinterested in, and smashed your cell phone.
Yes.
Now, Mr. Jackson, you acknowledge that you smashed her cell phone.
Yeah.
The only question is how much it costs to fix it or to get a new one. Is that right?
Right.
Good. Give me a bill.
This is the bill for the cell phone, how much the cell phone costs.
Well, you can buy a cell phone for any amount. What kind did you have, madam?
I had a Samsung.
And how much did you pay for it?
$179.
Is that what you bought to replace the one he smashed?
I bought a whole new phone.
But is that what you paid, $179?
No.
What did you pay?
I paid $69.
Got a better deal?
Yes.
Good. So he's got to give you $69, right? Not $250 that you're suing for. $69. That's what you get for the new cell phone. That's what you have to pay for your temper. Now, on the flip side, you have a counterclaim.
Yeah.
Your counterclaim is, well, just let me get there, sir. I mean, I have other things to do today. On the flip side, it's your claim that you brought your laundry over to the plaintiff's house. You washed your laundry over there. Then you got into another argument with her. Police were called. You were escorted out of the house. You left your laundry there, and she threw your laundry in the dumpster. Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes. Did you throw his laundry in the
No, I
dumpster? What'd you
didn't,
do with his
no.
laundry?
He did not have his laundry over there. It was 2 shirts, and the only reason they went
That's
into
laundry. Okay, 2 shirts.
2 shirts, 2
Good.
button-down shirts.
Had he cleaned them or washed them at your house?
I don't know what he had done with them.
What did you do with them?
After he slashed my tires, I took them to the dumpster and threw them out.
Okay, so you threw out his shirts. You have bills for your shirts?
Yeah. My pants too. Yeah.
No,
Just
I
a second. She said all she's got is shirts.
It was just 2
Okay.
shirts.
Okay, I'm gonna take the shirt.
Good. 2 shirts.
Yeah, there's my receipt. It's for the jersey there. This one you can't see, so that one don't even count.
She said they were button-down shirts.
It was 2 jerseys.
2 jerseys.
2 jerseys and 2 pair of Dockers. Come on.
Okay, jerseys. They were $49.
48. Yep.
It says $49.98.
Come on. That's
Excuse
it.
me?
That's it.
Was that for 1 shirt or 2?
That's for 1.
So it was $100 for the 2.
Right.
When did this happen?
Back in March of last
Well, this is a bill.
year.
This is a bill from May 25th of 2000. So this
Right,
was the
that's
bill for
when I
these
bought
2
them.
shirts.
Yeah.
That
You keep
happened a
these
while.
bills?
Yeah, got to. Never know when this gonna happen.
I'm done. I'm really impressed. I'm really impressed that you kept a bill this long.
I got one longer than that, but it's faded on out.
All right.
But Your Honor, he wouldn't even have to worry
All
about
right,
it
so
if
you
he
had the
wouldn't have-
shirts for a couple of years, right?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So they lost a little bit of their value in it for a
No,
couple of years.
because I only wear them every blue moon. So they were still like new.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'm going to give you the full cost of your shirts, $98. She gets $69, you get $98. The difference is $29. So you know what happens in this case? You get nothing, you get $29. Goodbye, go have a happy life.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Yeah, this is case number 57 on the calendar in the matter of Whitley versus Clow. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat. You're welcome.
Mr. Whitley, according to what I've read, you and the defendant were boyfriend and girlfriend, and there came a time when you suggested to her that she consolidate all of her credit cards into one loan.
Correct.
You did a consolidation loan for her,
Correct. It was from her Wells Fargo loan to my credit card.
and it was your understanding that she was going to repay that loan.
That's correct.
Why did you make that consolidation loan?
Well, the reason why we did that, we often talked about getting engaged and then soon to become married. And so she has an expensive car, and then she also had a high-interest loan with Wells Fargo.
What was the interest in her account with Wells Fargo?
It was about 24%. And I was offered a balance transfer at 4.9%. So we talked about the best way for her to reduce her debt, because I'm a student right now. I have plenty of my own debt, so we were trying to take care of hers. And so we verbally agreed that I was going to help her out, and she'd make me payments for $250 a month until it was paid off.
What was the amount that you transferred onto your credit card?
There were two loans. One was for $274, and the other one was for $1,773. There were two separate Wells Fargo accounts.
Did you have two separate Wells Fargo accounts?
That is correct.
Okay.
In addition to that, she really didn't have enough money, or she had money, but she didn't have extra money. And so what I did is I put her as a signer on the account for emergency expenses. And the emergency expenses that I have shown here is for coffee.
Well, that was stupid of you,
tough.
sir. Don't get me involved with that.
Okay.
Now, did she make any payments?
Yes, she did, Your Honor. I have two copies of two checks that
Let
she
me
wrote
see
to
them, please.
And I also have the deposit, my statement.
So she made two payments, $275.
Correct.
I made 3 payments, Your Honor, and they were not for the credit card. They were to help him out.
Your Honor, you can see one of those.
Just a second. You made 3 payments.
That is correct.
Okay. One for $275, one for $250.
And check number 1106 in the amount of $330, which posted my account on September 3rd of 2001.
$330. And you gave that money to him for what reason, Ms. Clow?
I flew to Hawaii for his birthday. Those payments were a reimbursement for me going. Since it was his birthday, I was going to pay for my plane ticket out there and for the hotel. We also stayed in Kauai.
Which I paid for.
Which I paid him back for.
Just a minute. No. No. I don't buy that story. But I'll listen to the rest of your tale. Go ahead. I'll listen to the rest.
Okay, first of all, there was no verbal agreement made. He did this of his own free will. I was not in financial need. I was never late or behind on those payments. My car payment being expensive is irrelevant. Living at home, I did not have many expenses, as he is saying. I had the one expense of Wells Fargo and my car payment. And living at home, I had no renting.
What did you give him your account numbers for?
Because he wanted them.
What do you mean because he wanted them?
Well, first of all, we were dating.
My mouth is still moving. I don't understand because he wanted them. You can say a lot of things in a relationship. You say you look great, your hair never looked better, where do you want to go for dinner? But not give me your credit card account number, babe.
Can I explain?
Yeah. Explain it to me so that I understand it.
Okay. The reason that I gave him the credit card is because he suggested to me that he would pay that balance. There was no agreement that I would pay him back.
Oh. So now, just a minute, you're changing the story. So you're saying now your defense is, so what I understand it, Ms. Clow, is that he paid off your credit cards as a gift to you.
That's how I perceived it, Your Honor.
Just a second. That's what your defense is now. It wasn't before, but now that is your defense, that it was a gift to you.
Yes, and I...
Good! No, wrong. Wrong. I don't buy that for a minute.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Walt Woodley says ex-girlfriend Sarah Clow transferred a balance to his credit card and now refuses to pay.
Now, you have a counterclaim, let's get to it, for a return of your PlayStation and games.
That is correct.
Why don't you tell me what the counterclaim is about?
I purchased the PlayStation on December 5th of 2001 for myself and him to share. He refused to return it after we broke up. Since I never lived at his residence and that's where the thing was, I could not go in and get it.
Now I'll hear you. PlayStation and games.
Well, I was in Hawaii for my rotations, and I was going back to Reno for Christmas. Sarah met me in Reno, and so she spent Christmas with me. She gave me the PlayStation for Christmas as a Christmas gift. I have a card here dated 12/4/01 saying, I hope you will get something in Reno that you really like. And so you can ask her what she got me for Christmas then.
Well, she got you something and put it in your house. She got something, and the PlayStation was put in your house in December, is that right?
That's in Reno, and I took it back up to Portland, where I live.
Okay. And when did you finally break up?
The 3rd week in January, Your Honor.
Okay, and between December 5th, when you bought this PlayStation, that's when you said you bought it, right?
I have the receipt to prove it right here.
I don't doubt that you bought it.
Okay.
Between December 5th and mid-January, the PlayStation remained with the plaintiff, is that right?
But I was staying the night at his house, so it was in my possession, but I did not live there.
Okay. Mr. Whitley, I want to tell you something. I think you should get down on your knees and look up and thank God that you got out when you did. Do you understand?
Yes, I do. Thank you, Your Honor.
Your counterclaim is dismissed, Ms. Clow. I find that the PlayStation was a gift and judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,633. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Walter Whitley appears to be kind and generous in the things that he says and does, but if things don't go his way, as in my relationship with him, he'll turn around and stab you in the back.
Don't ever share credit cards or help someone out unless you sign the dotted line and you get married.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Jones versus Jones. Step forward, please.
21-year-old homemaker Jennifer Jones is suing her mother, business owner Helen Jones, for the return of personal property, harassment, and for the cost of new car tires. Helen is countersuing for the cost of a refrigerator and damages to her mobile home.
I've read your complaints very carefully. Miss Jones, the defendant is your mother.
Right.
And according to what I gather from your complaint, your parents are in the process of getting a divorce.
Right.
How many years have you been married?
24.
During the course of the divorce, according to you, you sort of sided with your father.
Right.
You were living in a house, and who owned the house?
Her and my father.
You were living there with child?
Right.
And a boyfriend?
Right.
According to your complaint, you left the house, and without your permission, your mother came in and took some property that you say belongs to you.
Right.
Your mother says you abandoned the house. She went in, she took property that was there, some of which she had given to your child, and she is counterclaiming. She says that you left the house in deplorable condition. She has to buy a new refrigerator and other damages. You also claim that your mother slashed your tires and is engaged in a course of harassing behavior.
Yes.
When did you move into her house?
It is March of 2001.
And who was living there at the time?
Me and my son when we first moved there.
And how long did you and your son live there alone?
About 2.5 months.
And then who moved in?
My ex-boyfriend.
And how long did you, your son, and your ex-boyfriend live there?
Until March of 2002.
What happened in March of 2002?
I left and had moved to Carthage with a current boyfriend.
Okay, so you left the old boyfriend.
Right.
Now, when you left the old boyfriend, was he living in the house at the time?
No, he moved out before I moved.
When did he move out?
About 2 months prior to that.
What date in March of 2002 did you leave the house?
It was approximately the second week of March.
Now, when do you allege that your mother came in and took property?
I noticed the property gone April 8th. I went in, there had been a computer missing.
So 3 weeks after you moved out?
Right. I didn't even actually move out. All of my things were still there. I had just been staying with a boyfriend because of all the harassment and everything I was getting there at the home.
Right. And what items do you claim that your mother came in and took that belongs to you?
She had called me the day before Easter and told me that she was going to get a swing set out of my backyard, and I okayed that. She then called me the day after Easter and told me she had went into the house, which she had no keys to, and took a children's four-wheeler and a wagon out of the building.
But she took those things. Are those the things you want back?
Well, and then when I got there, there were several other things missing also.
Like what?
There was a compact computer. There was a brand new Kenmore dishwasher.
Whose computer was it?
It was mine.
I have proof where it was Clinton Todd's.
Well, I have the statement that he signed and give to me that he give that to me.
What else?
A Kenmore dishwasher. There was a race car collection, a deep freezer, and all the rest of the
Well, we're
items
talking
that
about
went
months later, Miss Jones. If you moved out and you're living with a new boyfriend, is this a new boyfriend?
Yes.
Well, you can't just leave it there.
I left the things there. My father was staying there with me, and I left the things there for him to use until I got another place.
So there was somebody else living in the house?
Right. He was staying there on the weekends.
Somebody else who had access to the house?
Right.
Is that right?
Right.
Now, you acknowledge, Miss Jones, that you took the swing set, the bike, and the wagon.
Yes, that's all I took.
And that was, you say, because?
I paid for it. It was to stay there. She met this guy on internet. He is married and he has 4 kids. I didn't buy it for his kids. I bought it for my grandson. They were to stay there whenever if she ever moved out, and she wanted to take them, and I said no.
That's not true.
Well, you didn't give them to her. You gave them to your grandson.
Right.
It's the wrong thing to do, because I know, I have grandchildren, so I know you didn't say to your grandson when you gave him the red wagon or when you gave him the bike, you can have these as long as your mother is living here and doesn't move away to live with somebody else. You didn't say that to him.
No, the reason why I put that in because she has bounced from home to home, from boyfriend to boyfriend.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Jennifer Jones claims her mother, Helen Jones, burglarized her home and slashed her tires. Helen says she entered the trailer because Jennifer abandoned it.
Now, your grandson's got to have his swing set back and his bike and his wagon, because those things belong to him.
Well, the reason why that I had took them, we went to the mobile home, the back door was standing wide open. That's why I took the things, because I didn't want nobody to take the things.
Okay. So at this point, those things are going to have to go back to your grandson.
Okay.
But your mother says she doesn't have anything else, Miss Jones. What proof do you have that she took those things?
There was a statement filed with the police department there, where they had retrieved some of the items that her son had went in and stolen from me, that he had stolen even some of her things that she had loaned me out of the house.
Just a second. What proof do you have that your mother took any of those things?
Nobody else had access to the house.
That's not true. Your father did.
The door standing wide open.
Just a second. Your father did.
Right.
He had a key to the home, right?
Right.
You said your mother didn't have a key.
Right.
May I add something?
Who are you?
I'm the boyfriend.
Well,
and a
step up
witness.
if you have something important to add, but just make sure it's important. What's your name?
My name's Mark. The thing with her father, there's an ex parte between her father and her mother at this time. And so he would stay at the home on the weekends as long as he could until the harassment got so bad. And the harassment was so bad and stuff that her dad found another place to stay when he was in at different times, kind of just staying with who he could to try to make peace through this divorce that they're going through.
So far, I don't hear much from you, sir. Just a lot of
Well, okay,
chatter.
but, well, when we were there,
Yeah.
there was a phone call placed by her mother. And her and her mother were in a pretty good argument.
Just a second. Her mother called and said she wanted to go take the swing set.
Right.
So she
but-
called you and asked you if she could take the swing set, and you said
Only
okay.
the swing set, right.
Okay, but you said okay. So
Right.
she didn't not ask you if she could take the swing
Right.
set. She just made the phone call, got your permission. Listen, get to the facts. I have a very busy calendar.
Okay. And she has some pictures here that shows a lot of the damage to the yard and to the shed. And the damage to the back door was not there the week that we went there. But the only way she would have had to go into the house would be to tear up the back door.
Well, I don't know that.
And
She
that's
says she
where-
found the door off the hinges. Isn't
The
that
door
right?
was
That's
wide
what you.
open. It wasn't off of the hinges. It was left wide open.
And there's a police report that states the door was pried
Right,
open
it was
and
pried
pried
open.
hanging.
Maybe your ex-boyfriend came back. Maybe your ex-boyfriend wasn't happy that he left you the computer when he found out that you had taken off a couple of weeks later with somebody else. There are a lot of people who had the opportunity either to go into your house or to break into the house. It's not your house, the house. And all I'm asking you for is proof that it was your mother. Do you have any?
Other than that, she just told me she is the one that went in there and took some items.
She acknowledged she took 3 things. Is that right?
Right.
Did she ever acknowledge she took the computer?
No.
She ever acknowledged she took the dishwasher?
No.
She ever acknowledged she took the race car collection?
No.
How old are you?
21.
How old is your son?
He's almost 2.
Is the person that you were living with in the house that child's father?
No.
This man certainly isn't the child's father.
No.
Is that right?
Right.
Listen, you have a child. That child is entitled to have a certain amount of stability. Is entitled not to go from one boyfriend to another, to another, to another until you find yourself maybe when you're 40 years old. So you got a lot more to worry about than a dishwasher and a race car collection. You got to worry about a 2-year-old that you're supposed to be bringing up properly and setting an example for. It doesn't seem to me as if you're doing that. Oh, God. Okay. What proof do you have that your mother slashed your tires?
I had come down and stayed a couple days with my father at a local hotel, and that day they had been driving by, flipping me off, cussing me.
Who was they?
Her and her sister, her son. This was right after they had
How
stolen.
old is her
his-
son?
He is 17.
My son.
Is that your brother?
Yes.
Well, then your brother. Not her son. It's your brother.
No, and her also. They was
Just
all
a second.
together.
It's not her son. It's your brother. So your mother and your brother and your aunt. What were they doing?
They would drive by, flip us off. They would scream things. Her and her boyfriend would circle the parking lot. The next morning I got up. The passenger rear tire of my car had been slashed.
So other than the fact that they were there the night before, you have no proof that your mother did that.
There would be nobody else that would do that. I mean,
It's very possible your mother did it. It's very possible your brother did it. It's very possible your aunt did it.
She
Do you
has
understand?
no friends or family, so.
I mean, do you understand what I'm saying to you? It's possible. But that's not what we deal with in court. We don't deal with possibilities. We deal with what is provable. Now, you want to tell me about this counterclaim you have for the refrigerator and the damage to the house?
I have proof here of everything that's been done to the home, and from Clinton Todd that he took the computer and the dishwasher.
but he give those to. We had bought some other things together that were paid off, and we sat down and made an agreement, and I have it where he had signed it, what he took, and he said that would be fine since he took the things that were paid off.
Let me see yours. Did you tell him at that time that you had met somebody else?
I hadn't met him when, I didn't even know him when we had separated.
That's not true.
That's not true.
That's not true.
No.
Ha, listen to me. That's not true. Who has the Pontiac Grand Prix car?
I do.
You working?
No.
How are you paying for a car? Listen to me. Don't give me an I. How are you paying for the car?
I was working for my father.
But you're not working now, and you didn't work last month. How did you make the last 2 payments on the car?
I made those payments.
Baloney. Baloney. All right, show me the refrigerator. I mean, that's the main thing that we're talking about.
Okay,
House
now,
was open.
Right.
Right. Oh, she's a slob.
Yes.
She's a slob.
I have the pictures of what they done to the house when
I'm
they
just showing,
went in.
just a second. I'm not even looking at the damage to the house because I can't tell who did the damage to the house because the house, according to your mother, was open.
Right.
So we don't know who went into the house.
Right.
Right? Could have been your soon-to-be ex-husband. It could have been Mr. Todd who got angry when he went to retrieve his stuff. Just like I said to your daughter, you need proof. I don't need any proof for this. This is pretty disgusting. Whoever left the refrigerator in this condition, really just a pig. But we don't know whether your daughter was the pig or your husband is a pig. It could be that your father's a pig. It's either one of the two of you. Either you're the pig or your father's the pig. But since we can't prove that you're the pig, I can't award your mother any money on her counterclaim. So your mother is going to see to it that your son gets back his swing set, his bike, and his red wagon. The remainder of the complaints are dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Now, this is case number 117 on the calendar in the matter of Ross versus Joseph. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
All right, Miss Ross, you claim that the defendant, who is an ex-boyfriend of yours, owes you for a whole bunch of stuff.
Correct.
Some of it dates back to 1999. That's a motorcycle that you purchased. It was his motorcycle he was supposed to make payments on. We're going to leave that for a moment.
All right.
When did you and the defendant break up? Give me the date when you no longer were seeing each other as boyfriend and girlfriend.
Probably December of last year.
Now, according to your complaint, the major loan that you made to him, discounting the motorcycle, was when his father died. When was that?
August of last year.
So what was your involvement with him in August of last year?
Well, his family came to me, and I was close with his family.
But you weren't with him?
No, we were still together.
You were still together. While you were still together, as a couple, his father died.
Correct.
And his family came to you and said what?
Well, basically, Alex came to me, and based on their families getting together, they were a little short on money on paying for funeral expenses.
What did he say?
He said he needs to borrow some money. They were expecting to get some money from the father's account, but it hadn't come in. And as soon as it came in, he would give me the money back.
How much did you give him?
$1,500.
Is that correct, Mr. Joseph?
Yes, Your Honor, it is.
Did you give her back the money?
No, she never asked for it back, Your Honor.
Well, she's here. She's asking for it.
She had just told me not to worry about it. The family was in a tough spot. I did not come to her. She offered it to me.
Well, tell me your version of how that came about.
My father had died. We were $1,500 short of the funeral expenses.
Who's we?
My family.
Give me the members of your family that were short.
Myself. I mean, my aunt. It's not. He's not married or anything. My dad wasn't married. It was more about just my loan, I guess, not my family's.
Your what? Repeat that again. Your loan.
Well, okay, if you want to put it that way.
No, you just put it that way, sir. You just said it was my loan.
She came to me with the offer.
Isn't that what you just said to me? It was my loan to pay for my father's funeral.
That is what I just said to you.
Right. Now, did your father have an estate that was ultimately settled?
No.
Everybody dies with some money in the bank, sir. What happened to the money that he had that was in the bank?
He had $5,000 in the bank.
Right. What happened to that $5,000? Look at me.
It went towards the funeral expenses, Your Honor. It was $7,500 total.
$7,500 total, and he had $5,000 in the bank, and I'm sure you're fudging it just a little bit. So how much did you pay?
I paid $1,000, and Miss Ross paid $1,500.
How many children are there?
Myself, and I have a stepsister and a stepbrother.
What about them? Didn't they like him?
I was surprised they were at the funeral.
But they were there.
Yeah.
Well, as between his biological children and the plaintiff, who do you think ought to pay to bury him?
Oh, I definitely think that the biological children should.
Right! Now, in 1999, according to you, he wanted a motorcycle. You lent him money. How much was the motorcycle?
The total ended up being around $12,000.
How much did he pay you back?
He's probably made about $2,000, $3,000, somewhere in between there. I have a running tab. In addition to the motorcycle, there was other things that he said, oh, just tack it on to my payment. Just tack it on, just tack it on.
That's your problem. If you're going to be stupid and just keep tacking it on, a lot of it's your problem. Like the jacket that you bought for him for $400 so he could ride the motorcycle in 1999. Forget it. 3 years later, you don't come into court and waste my time with, I bought him a leather jacket so he would look handsome at driving his motorcycle. And he only paid you since 1999 about $2,000 or $3,000, according to you.
Correct.
And then there came a time when you took the motorcycle back.
Just about a month ago.
Tell me about that.
Well, he stopped paying since December of last year.
Why?
I never said I stopped paying.
Did you make a payment last month?
Before she took the motorcycle, yes.
You did?
Yes.
How much?
$300.
So is what you're telling me that you've made all the payments on the motorcycle?
Yes.
Really? How much a month? $300 a month?
Actually, it was $208 originally, and we added $100 for the other monies that were owed to her.
What other monies?
From the jacket. I added $100 for 4 months for the price of the jacket, which he's claiming I still owe her for.
So is what you're telling me, sir, that irrespective of the fact that you made all your payments, she took the motorcycle back?
She has actually taken the motorcycle twice, and my side of the story basically is, we were together. I decided I did not want to continue the relationship. When I didn't want to continue the relationship anymore, apparently she was hurt by it or what have you, wanted some sort of vengeance or whatever, and she decided to hit me where it hurts, because anybody that knows me knows that I love nothing like I love that motorcycle.
Mr. Joseph, you have not answered my question.
Okay, I apologize.
My question is, sir, is it your testimony that you have paid her each and every month since 1999 $208 and then $308 for the last almost 3 years?
Each month the bike was in my possession, Your Honor, yes. When she took it, I obviously did not pay for it.
Now, you say she took the bike twice, once last month, and for how long did she have the bike before that?
Maybe 4 months, 5 months, I'm not really sure, to be honest.
And why did she take the bike at that point, sir?
Because I decided to discontinue our relations. And
Then why did she give it back?
Probably in hopes to somehow woo me back into the relationship. I don't know how to word it, to be honest. I mean...
That's a fair statement. That's a fair statement. Do you have proof, sir, of the monies that you paid her towards the bike?
No, I do not.
Okay. Now, she has the bike. Have you put an ad in the paper to sell it?
Yes, and I have not. I've had to reduce the price 3 times, and I have not had anyone come to see it, because he changed it and altered the motorcycle, and when I took it back, all I got was the motorcycle without all of its original parts, without everything.
So you have no idea how much you're going to get for it?
I'll maybe get $3,000 for it, if that.
Well, you don't know that.
No, I don't. I haven't got a single call on it.
I don't have any evidence, but I know, I looked in the cycle trader. It's probably around $4,500 is what she would get for it. Now, if I had it my way, I would continue to pay for the motorcycle, because it's very important to me. It's something that I've spent over 100 hours in the garage working on it, putting on these aftermarket parts, and it's all about... She's been hurt by me,
well, are you
so she's
prepared
going
to
hit me
say
where
as
it hurts.
follows, sir, that if you can present proof of continued insurance and that you make regular payments in the amount of $300 a month?
I will not give him the bike back.
You won't?
No.
Because it's not about the money, it's about me not having the motorcycle.
He's completely disrespected me and told me, made threats, and it's beyond that now.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And later today...
I told her, unchain the dog, tell him to come home, he'll come home.
He says, just open the door, let him out, tell him Poppy's home, and he'll come home by himself.
Is that stupid?
No.
I mean, is there something wrong with you?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Stacy Ross says ex-boyfriend Alex Joseph owes for a motorcycle and for a loan to bury his father.
Go ahead. I gave him many opportunities to took the bike away. Actually, he parked the bike in my garage because he couldn't afford it. And he said, do me a favor, having some rough times, keep the bike from me, I'll get my feet back on the ground, I'll give you money, and we'll start back up. For 5 months he did that. I made his payments for him, paid the insurance because he let it slip, and then I gave him the bike back, which I should never have done, but I trusted him. I thought he had good intentions. But then it came to a point where he said, you know what, you don't need the money, you're rich, and just it went on from there. And at that point, that's it.
So what I suggest you do is sell it, and you're free to refile your claim once you've sold the bike. Make sure you have your figures correct, exactly how much he's paid you, what you got for the bike, the difference in the loan that you are still paying for, and that's what your damages are. Do you understand?
Yes.
In the meantime, he owes you $1,500 for his father's funeral. The $1,500 is a legitimate, I believe, loan. He slipped and used the word loan. That he has to pay back to you. And as soon as you get
Well,
me...
he also slipped and said that he owed me for the motorcycle jacket, too. So there-
Well, but he
there
paid
you
for
go.
some of it.
No, he
I
hasn't
paid 4
for it.
payments of $308 rather than $208 to make up for the $400 that she claims the
In
jacket
any
costs.
event, Miss Ross, pay attention. 3 years ago, you bought him a jacket. After he hadn't paid you for the jacket, you still lent him money for his
He wasn't
father's
paying
funeral.
for the jacket. He would never pay me back for one item and say, here, this is for that.
Then you got to be smart.
That's why I took the bike back.
Fine. Then you have it. Now sell it. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,500.
I would like to be able to speak, Your Honor. What, do I not get to defend
While he's not
myself?
excused, you may step out.
Cool. So all the green highlighted things that you see are my voice